So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever this is. This is Matthew Bailey alongside the one, the only
Micwise.
Micwise. See, he spoiled the intro already, but that's okay. Yes, Micwise is here. It's just you and I.
Yo.
And today, well, this is another episode, sorry, of Retrospect Reviews. And in this case, we're going to talk about some special, man, something impactful, some kind of controversial, some hard to really, you know, sink your teeth in that much. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of things lot of words you could use to describe this album here. Of course, I'm talking about the third studio album from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP. Yes. This album came out on May the 23rd of 2000. So, yes, this album will be celebrated its 20th anniversary. Well, yeah, May 23rd of 2020, right?
Yeah.
Previously in this show here, myself, Ricardo, and Doughboy, right, who unfortunately couldn't make it, we talked about the second album, which would be, well, a lot of people kind of assume it's the debut album, but actually his first album came out in '96, a little album called Infinite, right?
Infinite. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you mentioned it as the third album because a lot of people don't know about Infinite.
I know, right? I know, yeah. Which is the album that I appreciate. I like hearing early a lot of people make the not the joke, but just make the comparison to Nas, the way how he flowed
I'm
on that
sure Easy appreciates it as well.
yeah. But
Because he sounded anyway, but like not to clone him, but
yeah. Because I kind of dug the beats that he was going for. Like I actually dug the intro track, sorry, the title track, Infinite. I love 313. Both of those songs actually on my like my 90s hip hop playlist. Like I have one, and yeah, I just love those two songs to that, man. But yeah, so what we're gonna talk, well, yeah, as I said before, we went in detail, did a track by track review of the Slim Shady LP, which all three of us totally enjoyed. Still one of my all-time favorite albums. But when it comes to Eminem, many will say that this album here is his magnum opus, is his greatest work, but it's also his most unsettling, most controversial, most hard to really digest, basically, album that he's ever put out in his career. So before we go in depth into the album itself, right? So last time when we talked about the Slim Shady LP, I just did like a run through of his discography, right? And this was before Music to Be Murdered by came out, which came out this year, 2020. So I'll end it off with my honest opinion on that, right? And then likewise, you could just jump in, just share your thoughts on Eminem, how he impacted you as a rapper, and what you thought about his albums.
okay. Yeah.
So yeah, Marshall Mathers LP. Okay, well actually, I'm not gonna share my thoughts on Marshall Mathers LP as yet.
Yeah.
I'll just
That's
jump
the
into
keynote album. Let's go everything
yeah,
else.
it is right. So Eminem show. Really enjoyed it. I think this, well, as he stated, this is where M was like, you know what, I did the shock value thing already. I really don't need shock value to sell records, though. So it was more personal. It was more introspective. He was actually a little bit braver, like with the song Healy song, for example, really a touching moment. He got really, really personal with the song Clean Up My Closet, which he has kind of, regretted recording, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had the great Without Me, which was like a great, catchy radio single, reminiscent of, well, the real Slim Shady and My Name Is, right? I remember the video being a big deal, you know what I mean? It was like a world, it was like a world event basically when that album hit premiered on TRL, sorry. And
He
yeah, you know what I
followed
mean?
yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah. He followed the formula of the first two singles from the first two albums, basically. Well, the
Yeah.
second and third albums.
Yeah, he did. But there were just so much great songs on this though. Like songs that people kind of forget were on the album, like Sing for the Moment. I really, really dug that song. Till I Collapse. One of my
Great song, but
favorite tracks with with a great hook from the late great Nate Dogg. Superman was pretty dope as well. You know what I mean? White America. I mean the list goes on and on. There were just so much great cuts on that one, right? Then we had Encore, which at the time, like I dug it for what it was. Now it's not an album that I go back to in a hurry, but it's one that I do appreciate, and I get the vibe of it basically, where it's kind of in a way, at least in my opinion, where
Mm.
he this is where M finally becomes this like I would say like if Eminem shows him becoming the one of the goats basically, you know what I mean?
Mm.
A name that people call up as one of the greatest MCs in the game right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
This one was more like, okay, I'm a household name, I'm a pop star now, you know what I mean? So
Mm.
um some of his delivery, some of these songs were kind of radio friendly, but at the same time
Mm.
they were still as deep and personal, like what we got on Eminem show.
Mm.
My one gripe with the album, because I know some people kind of iffy about it. Some people like, yeah, I really care for it. I think the main flaw with Encore is the production. I felt that Dre's production towered over M Zone. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying M shouldn't have produced anything, but I find like M Zone
Really, you find so?
just didn't. I don't know. Like you saw the contrast, in my opinion. You saw the contrast
Mm.
for for every like toy soldiers, you'll have just lose it. You know what I mean? For every mosh,
Mm.
you'll have ass like that. You know what I mean? It was just
Mm.
that contrast. You know what I mean? So I think that was like the Achilles heel of that album, though. And at times, like you know what? Yeah, a Diggity song with the beat. You know what I mean? But that's just few moments. Not all through the album though. But so yeah,
Mm.
it's an album that I enjoy. It's not one that I go back to though. But I do dig the sort of I'm a pop star now vibe of it. I love at the very
Mm.
end where he literally kills himself on stage, kind of
Mm.
telling his audience like, you know what,
Yeah.
all they're like,
We
well,
all
like
thought he was retiring with that one.
yeah, exactly, and all they're like the happy poppy Eminem. Well, yeah, that's the last time you're gonna get, and he shoots
Yeah.
himself. So I dug that. That was like a big middle finger to
Yeah.
the audience right
Yeah.
there. A true M form, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
cut to some years later, we got Relapse, um, which
Interested to hear your take on this. It's very divisive.
wasn't the biggest fan of Relapse. I do dig it now in retrospect. Like it's well, I mean it was M's comeback, but what I got from it was just like him just because at first you got the impression that he was going back to his Slim Shady roots, right? The horrorcore roots, right? Because he started off with 3 a.m., which was very, very, very horrorcore inspired, right? But then
Mm.
from there, it was just okay. Can I rinse repeat? I'll talk about my mom. I'll talk about my ex. I'll talk about Mariah. I'll do this kind of stuff.
Mm.
What I do like though is that well, Dre handled all the beats here, so that kind of made things more interesting, right? I
Mm.
do agree with the criticism with the accents throughout the album. Yeah, that was not that big of a tune off for me, but yeah, listen to it. It's just like, yeah, but why do you know what I mean?
Mm.
But
Mm.
M sounded like he was just back in the boot. He was trying to kind of get back into the feel of things. You know what I mean? So it was like
Mm.
a bit of the same old stuff from before, but it was just with more mature outlook of things, right? So not one of my favorites, but I dig it. It's not one I'll go back to in a hurry, but I dig it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then well, this moving quick though, we had Recovery in
Mm.
2010. And I remember this album being a huge deal. It was like, this was the official comeback of M. Like, if Relapse
This is
was
the
still kind
mature
of,
comeback. Yeah, the
yeah,
mature. Yeah.
yeah, right. If Relapse was him kind of flushing out all the pills out of his system, this was him
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm off of it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Focus. I gotta give all you, mature Eminem now. You know what I mean? So he got like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
afraid, won't back down. He played around with Pop more. He collaborated with Pink, and that same
Mm.
song Back Down, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
No Love,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was shockingly good. Even though
With him
the
and Wayne,
yeah with Wayne,
no
yeah,
love.
even though
Yeah,
even though
with
the
Wayne. Yeah.
Hathaway
Yeah.
um
The Hathaway sample. Yeah.
sample
Yeah.
was a little too on the nose, but they make it work, right?
Yeah.
Of course, everyone's favorite song was on it, Love the Way You Lie. I dig it. I don't,
Hmm.
it's not one of my favorite songs ever, but
Yeah.
yeah, it
Anyway,
was, it was a popular
I
one.
will
It was a
talk
popular
about.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know you had to talk about that one, but
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
in retrospect, it does kind of run a tad bit too long, though, in my opinion.
Mm.
There are some couple of filler tracks here or there that they could have taken out, but other than that, it was solid. I dug the sentiment of it, right? And then we have, well, ironically, the Marshall Matters LP2. Yes, excluding Healthy Sequel. I know he did that with Royce 59, right? But we focus
That
on
was good though. Anyway,
It was. It was
but I
actually
was,
one of my favorite well
yeah.
EPs of 2011, right? But yeah,
Mm.
Marshall Mathers LP2. This is him kind of back in pure form. You could tell that he was just excited to be back. It was just like, yeah, I'm back, right? But one
Mm.
thing I loved about it, I mentioned this in my Slim Shady LP review. I like the fact that it was like, okay, I know that I'm older now. I know I'm not as I don't I'm not too shocking as I used to be back in the days, but I could still wrap circles around your favorite rapper.
Mm. Mm.
And that was what it was. When he dropped
Mm.
Rap God, it was like, okay, oh, okay, okay. And then he did
Mm.
that
Mm.
one section where he was just rapping at top speed. And I was like, all right, y'all just bow down, Johnny man, just come and just shut
Mm.
shit. Right? I love
Mm.
that, right? But yeah, it was just essentially him kind of, just reminding people, hey, this is why I am your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, basically, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
One thing that was quite interesting, and then I'll move on to the next album, is that
Mm.
he kind of showed the flip side to the stuff that took place on the first Marshall Mathers LP, which is, oh well, there's a consequence to everything. So there's always like there's this theme of like
Mm.
consequences, like, oh, you
Mm.
thought it was cool, me talking about me raping my mom. Well, yeah, I'm older now, and yeah, that was really good. So he had
Mm.
that dedication track called So Far. Sorry,
Mm.
Headlight Story, which was just such a
Yeah.
powerful one.
We talking
Caught
about
me by surprise. I was like, wow, like,
I love
man,
that, by the way. The
man,
fact that
man,
and
apologize.
Spike Lee did the video. Shout out to Spike Lee,
Yes, yeah,
one
shout
of
out
the
to
best
Spike Lee.
directors of all time. Yeah.
Of course, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I dug that. I know some people will, like, I remember Ricardo was kind of expecting it to be, just him one-upping what he did with Marsh Matters LP, the first one. But to me, that's
Okay.
that's what I dug about this one here. Like, it was kind of
Mm.
ironic it being the sequel, 'cause it's more like, yes, I'm done. Like, I've matured past what you got there in the
Mm.
first, MMLP. So we got what we
Mm.
got.
Mm.
Then things kind of went south with Revival, which many people will agree, myself
Ooh
included,
boy. Ooh
was
boy.
trash. It
Ooh
was
boy.
trash.
Ooh boy.
And the thing
Where
is,
Joe
right?
but Joe but not.
I know, right? And the thing is, right? Like leading
Yeah.
up to the album, like before we even knew the album was coming out, right? There was the BT Hip Hop Awards cipher where he was there,
Mm.
and he was just ripping apart Trump. You know what I mean? Who was elected at that
I
time?
wasn't mad at that. I like that. I thought
No,
he
I
did
love it.
well.
I
I
love
thought that
it.
verse was fire.
No, it was.
I love that
Dude,
shit still.
I,
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
don't see I hate it, but
As a
but point
look,
is,
as a MC, I could tell her like he, from a technical point of view, like he did well. He did really well.
yeah, like dude, just how he was able to struck
Mm.
those flows now, you know what I mean, on the spot.
Mm.
I like that.
Mm.
But
Mm.
what again that is like I went in expecting that he was gonna come with that same aggression, you know what I mean? He's gonna
Mm.
talk about what's going on in America, F Trump and all that kind of stuff. And he
Mm.
got like one, two songs about which had a political stance. One, well, I think it's one actually. That's the one that he did with Alicia Keys, which was,
Mm.
but yeah, um, he had questionable guest features, a lot of poppies,
Yeah, buddy.
a lot of poppy beats.
Yeah.
Some of
Mm.
them just felt undercooked, just uninspired, like
Horrible.
yeah, just horrible. Um, a
You
lot of
can
people,
say what I honestly. Horrible.
yeah. Like it started off real good, with Walk on Water. Like I dug that song. Even Chloroseptic was good too. But then from there,
Mm.
once Untouchable hit by, I was like, why do?
Ooh
What, what,
boy.
what was this? Why do? Why? Right?
Untouchable is the one about police, and that the one where Joe Budden tear apart.
Yeah, yeah,
On
yeah.
everyday struggle, and that caused the whole Joe Budden and Eminem thing. Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay. I see.
ooh,
I see. Yeah.
yeah, that's what caused it. And
Nah, but
yeah,
but
anyway,
the, yeah,
I'll
but
say
but
my
but the
piece.
thing
You
is,
continue.
right? The thing is with that song that it took a song from well the great stoner classic Up in Smoke now, and you basically make a beat out of that, and like I'm hearing the
Mm,
beat now and I know the
mm,
song,
mm,
I know the movie it's from, so I can't help but smile. But I'm not
mm,
supposed to
mm.
smile when you tell me about, well, police police being violent towards
Yeah,
inner city kids and all that kind of stuff.
I
So it
agree.
just
I
fell off.
agree with him. Anyway, I agree with the message, but that he
Yeah,
said, but
it's
you
just the beat
execute.
didn't
Anyway,
work.
I'll speak about
Right.
that. That's all.
So two more to go. Two more to go, right? So we had
Mm.
Kamikaze, which
Yeah.
I will never forget. Independence Day, 20, 2018. Sorry,
Mm.
I getting ready to meet up with Ricardo because we had a line to go to, and then I just see
Oh.
some tweet. Oh, M drop an album. I'm like, what? As I reach out, I listen to this thing, and it was just basically Eminem just taking shots at any and
So
everybody
you
who
listen to
hated.
Kamikaze after a Lime.
Yeah, no, actually, I took it in the
So
day
he was
after.
inebriated. I just want to know if he was inebriated.
Oh no, 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 no! I know it was Independence Day at all, but nah, I was sober. I was sober, but yeah,
Oh, cool.
but Kamikaze was just that. It was just a full on assault at everybody. Like if you were a
Who
YouTuber and you
hated
just was
him?
talking bad
Yeah, boy.
about vibe, you got shut down, Dread. And in retrospect, it's a good album. I felt that it was just 3 tracks too long. Like
Yeah.
the last 3 tracks, the nice guy and good
Mm.
guy, they could have taken that out. Venom, which had me laughing. No, I had me laughing
Venom,
because of how bad the hook was.
Venom.
Adrenaline, get
Yeah.
him, Venom. You know what I mean? But
Venom, Venom,
when you
Venom.
saw the movie
Oh.
itself, and because of how 90s it felt, it was like, yeah, it really does feel like it's from a 90s movie anyway. So
Mm.
I kind of let it slide there. But I
Mm.
felt it just could have been 10 tracks, just him just taking shots at everybody, take it or
Yeah.
you leave it. But I just
I
felt
think
like
it
he
was
had
12 ones. The
it
final
was
thing was like
13, it was
13 or
13.
12. 13.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
they could have took about. Could have been. Anyway,
yeah,
continue. I'll give
right.
my piece.
But yeah, it could have been shorter. It could have been. But the damage was done. You know what I mean? A lot of people got hit with
Mm-hmm.
the barrage of bullets that he unleashed
Yeah,
through
boy.
that album.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we have Music to Be Murdered By, which I reviewed on my BSB to Bailey podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is that of the which once again was a surprise release, by the way. I don't know what it is
Mm-hmm.
about him dropping surprise albums on a Friday. Like I don't understand that, but
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yeah. So when
Mm-hmm.
the thing is like when you see the album cover and it's inspired by Alfred Hitchcock and all that kind of stuff, and how the album begins,
Mm-hmm.
and him kind of saying, "Oh well, this is me kind of reviving or digging back up the corpse of Slim
I'm
Shady because
sure you and Ricardo appreciated you all film buffs.
yeah, we
Yeah,
did. We
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that kind of vibe there.
The nostalgia. Yeah.
Yeah, but like from that aspect now, like okay, well we're gonna get old Slim Shady because y'all don't like the M that was on Kamikaze, so I need to
I'm
and
interested to hear what you have to say about this one.
yeah, and yes, there was some decent tracks. There was some bearable pop rap songs on it,
Mm.
like like those kind of nights, for example, with Ed Sheeran, that played off a little better
Uh,
than River, even though it's not a song that
oh
I
my
care
god.
for. Like, but
Yeah.
some of the problems that happen on Kamikaze and Revival, unfortunately, up here, the
Mm.
corny bars, because yeah, I mean, as
Mm.
much as we praise him, sometimes he drops some corny bars, and I
He
understand
does. Yeah.
he would do it just
On one album
intentionally.
in particular. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the
I'll
same
tell
time,
you
it's
which
like,
one.
but
Mm.
dog, why though? Why?
Mm. Mm.
Godzilla was decent. And then of
Mm.
course, well, the final, well, the last few lines that people went crazy for this Godzilla challenge thing. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that Godzilla challenge when you get the
I
album, bro.
have a very interesting point on Godzilla as a song.
Ah,
I
okay,
to
okay.
share it with you. So I guess
Yeah,
when you don't talk about his albums, I'll talk
yeah.
about his.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
right.
Wonderful. Yeah.
I'll wrap up here. I'll wrap up here. Right.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, but
take your time. Take your
okay.
time. Take it. I want to
Yeah,
hear. I want to hear
but
everything. Yeah.
as a whole, I felt that it could have stuck to the title, the team. Well, sorry, not the team. What the title was about. If you tell them Slim Shady, we're back to Dark M, stick with that. But it was just
Oh,
you'll get a couple of dark tracks, then you'll
mm,
get some poppy tracks here or there. And I
mm.
was just like, okay, but where's the music to be murdered by? Where's that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some beats that just kind of didn't wow me at all. I hated Stepdad. I hated that song,
Oh,
and it
oh
hurt my
God.
heart that when I saw Alchemist
Why did you
was
bring?
involved with
Why did
this.
you bring that back? By the,
I'm
I'll.
sorry.
Anyway, I will see what I say about that,
I
especially with all due
love
respect to
I love
Alchemist.
Yeah, respect to Alchemist, but dog,
Yeah.
why? I love Darkness actually. Darkness was such a great song, and I'll never forget.
Mm.
While I was listening to it for the first time, I was like, wait, no, I wonder if this had to do with the sniper who was shooting people, in Vegas that one night. I was like, oh shit, it's
Mm.
actually about him. I was like, wait, you know what I mean? And
Exactly.
that
Is
song
yeah.
just
That was
really,
dope. Mm.
yeah. Um, I Will was a decent enough pussycat, but I don't know. I just kind of came out of it wanting a little bit more though. But it was a decent pussycat. I agreed with any
I
album out.
know I would have want more, but I'll expand on that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Just a
Mm.
just a couple
Mm.
more MCs could have been there. Yeah, yeah was
Okay.
decent
Okay. Mm. Mm.
ish. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just something. I love the energy that everybody brought it though. It's just that beat wise, I think it could have gone harder. And the hook,
Okay.
well, I get where it was coming from. Well, I mean, respect to Q-Tip. I love Q-Tip and all that too. But I just felt that they could have just added a little bit more to it. I just felt like it needed something else to make it work, right? But yeah, other than that
Okay.
though, it was just like a
Very
mixture
interesting
of,
opinions. Yeah.
yeah, that's just my view.
Yeah.
But
Interesting
as a whole,
opinions.
yeah, but as a
Yeah.
whole though, yeah, Music to Be Murdered By was okay, but I just went in expecting Dark M, and what I got was just,
Mm.
basically a bit of
Mm. Mm.
kamikaze, a bit of revival,
Mm.
um, and just not the dark, edgy M that I expected from the album cover. And then, well, some
Okay.
pop cuts, some poppy instrumentals, some beats I didn't really care for. And other than that,
Yeah.
it's not an album that I hate, but it's not one that I loved as much as I wanted to, and not one that I will go back to honestly. But
Mm.
I do see some people, closings off here. I did see people kind of praise this more than Kamikaze actually. Like some people actually love this album. Well, actually rated more than Kamikaze. I'm on the other side though. Like I actually think Kamikaze
You
is,
like
it,
Kamikaze more than music to be murdered by?
yeah. I think mainly because it was to the point. That's the reason why it knew what it was about. It was about this
Okay. Okay.
singular theme
Okay.
about just going in and taking down people. When you have a title called "Music to Be Murdered By," I'm expecting dark
Yeah.
shit, and I
Yeah.
did get that. That to me is what brought down the album. Well, brought down my enjoyment of that album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I realize what.
So yeah. So that was my long, run through, which actually went longer than it should. But
Okay. Could I ask
likewise,
one thing before I go to me? Could I ask one thing? So, excluding Infinite, because that was just something he did with his, with Mr. Porter, and then before he became himself,
right?
excluding Infinite, right? Um, would you agree that his first three albums were his best albums?
Yes, yes,
When I say first three, Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP, Eminem Show. Would you agree?
yes. I totally agree.
All right. So right now in the review, I don't know if you were gonna do this now or you wanted to save it for later, but what would be your fourth best out of all the rest of albums?
That is actually a very good question, man.
Yeah, boy. Because
Fourth best.
I have one specifically that I think is the fourth best, but I just
All
want to
right,
hear yours.
all right. Fourth best will be Marshall Mathers LB2.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
of
All right.
how self-aware and mature it was, and the the criticism that M himself kind of had for
Yeah.
himself and his career and the album itself, MMLP, the
Mm,
first one. And like he didn't
yeah.
want to tarnish, what he did before, but he just kind of approached things from a, yeah, I'm
Mm,
older now, guys, so
mm,
I know they're not gonna, hold me to my words for the rest of my life. So there you go. So that's
mm.
why, yes, that's why MMLP 2 is my fourth favorite.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go. All right.
Right, so
So
take it away. Well, before you start, well, actually, I should say as you start, though,
yeah.
because you're a rapper and all that too. Eminem, like him himself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did he, impact you, well, going into your career here?
Eminem, he scared the hell out of me,
Nice.
but not in a content way.
Oh,
Like I didn't care about because I mean I was a youth man watching like the most vile horror movies it had, so I didn't care about him talking about what he was talking about because I kind of understood his whole shtick of being that shocking guy. In
Yeah.
my mind, it's like, oh, he's just a guy who's, saying shocking things for the sake of saying shocking things. I was like, whatever, you know. Matter of fact, before I even heard a song from him, because I mean, he came out in a time um, where I was like, I knew certain rappers and it was cool and thing, but I wasn't like this big hip hop head looking for everything, right?
Right.
Understand? I was like real young. So it's like if something catch my ears at a certain time, it's like, all right, cool. Right. So I knew that this guy called Eminem who was just saying uh, to me, I didn't know he was like this big lyricist because that's the next thing is like Eminem was just about shocking lyrics. And to me, I didn't care to this day. I do care about somebody saying offensive, shocking things. Like that's not I don't care about that. That's not entertaining to me. That's
Right.
like so yeah, I don't care about just this random um shocking stuff, you know. So it's only when I got to hear him is like, oh, this guy is like a linguist.
Yeah.
You understand? In every sense that he form is like, wow, this guy is like and the way this guy puts his words together is like amazing. I don't even remember what was the first song I heard from him, to be honest with you. But like, um,
I think for everybody it was My Name Is. That was the first time I ever heard of M. I remember
yeah,
that song just being on heavy rotation on the radio. Seeing the video
mm,
for the first time, I thought it was hilarious. And
mm,
funny thing is, well, before we get back to you,
yeah,
I never actually checked out the Slim Shady LP till like a few years later, after its release. But my first like album, well, me actually listened to that project from him,
mm, mm.
was the Marshall Mathers LP.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
go on, ready, ready. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think I could remember was the first album I heard from him. I believe it was the Marshall Mathers LP. It could even be the Eminem show. No, it wasn't the Eminem show. But here what? I will just go through album by album from his start to his finish, right?
Yeah, sure.
So Infinite I would have heard like sometime after, right?
Mm.
And I could hear like I knew that Infinite was criticized heavily, right? And I could understand why because like he was like heavy into AZ at that
Yes.
time. Like I could hear him, being influenced by AZ heavily at that time. I could hear the AZ in his voices. And if you look at the time the album was released, it was released in 1996, which is a year after Do or Die, which was AZ's debut album.
Mm.
2 years after AZ debuted on Illmatic, Life's a Bitch, and you could hear all the the similarities there. So I
Yeah.
understand why people had a problem with it. So yeah. After Infinite, we had the Slim Shady LP.
Hmm.
Well, we had the Slim Shady EP, but
Yeah.
most of those songs end up being the Slim Shady LP. So the Slim Shady LP, that's the one with My Name Is. I believe this is I heard My Name Is. I think before anything. I don't know if I heard the album first, but Slim Shady LP was to me when I heard it for the first time. I knew I was into rap on a serious level when I heard it for the first time,
Mm.
and there's nothing wrong with it. There are some songwriting choices, not songwriting, but some of the choruses were a little bit weaker than
Puppy.
some. Some of the production was because Slim Shady LP Dre only did like 3 beats,
Yeah.
and the rest of them were handled by M's. I think the Bass Brothers they call
Yeah.
themselves. You know, and so it was kind of unpolished, but it worked. I think it's a great album. I think it's a very good album, right?
Yeah. I totally
Um,
agree. Yeah.
yeah, the lyricism was on point. Still don't give a fuck. It's still one of my favorite. Eminem songs. Rock Bottom is still one of my favorite Eminem songs. If I Had, same thing.
Yeah.
Bad Meets Evil with Royce, like there's some gems on that album.
Yeah, yeah,
Dope,
they
dope,
were.
dope, 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 dope
Mhm.
album. I'm gonna skip Marshall Mathers LP because we're gonna review that now.
Right?
We're gonna go to Eminem Show. Yo, to be real, I think Eminem Show is a classic. I
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I actually think Eminem Show is his. Should I say this? No, I think it's his best album.
Yeah,
I ain't
say
gonna.
it down, man. Say it down. Say it down and proud.
I think it's his best album. To be honest with you, like it, he has the he has a little bit of the shocking, but I don't really care about the shocking content. I care about lyricism and I care about you know just him expressing himself. And I think this is an album with Till I Collapse,
Yeah.
Sing for the Moment, Say Goodbye to Hollywood, Say What You Say, featuring Dr. Dre,
Hmm.
White America, Square Dance, like Soldier. Like this album is amazing.
Yeah,
This is just, it just keeps hitting here, song after song after song
yeah.
after song.
And what I love about it though is how accessible it is. You know what I mean? Like this was where he was slowly becoming this pop culture pop culture icon basically. So stuff like Square Dance and Business, you know what I mean? They were easy on the
Yeah,
ears, but just
yeah,
lyrically it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
on
But
point,
still,
you know?
yeah. But I'm glad you mentioned those songs too, because they, like, even though as I said, they're easy on the ears and he could like sing along to and dance too. Like he was talking some real shit. You
I know.
understand?
I know.
Like he was talking some, and like I like that. I like when, I always admire that with artists when they basically um they encounter with a little bit of fame, and now you have to make an album being famous, because I wouldn't say it's easy, but we've all heard rappers in the slums, coming from nothing, making that first album, and it's always, you hear that hunger in the voice, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But if you could make a dope album with a bunch of money in your bank account, there's something to be said about that.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a
Indeed.
few albums like I love when a rapper like Nas with It Was Written, Big with
Hmm.
Life After Death. Like there's many examples where,
Yeah.
yeah, these guys, these guys doing well in life, but they still coming with that hunger and that real shit. So
Right.
that was my take on Eminem Show. What we have next? Encore. I think M suffered basically from what Nas suffered with I Am, whereas he had a bunch of songs being leaked, like We As Americans, and a bunch of stuff that was just kind of floating around the internet.
Yeah.
And yeah, that kind of made the album suffer. I felt like if you listen, like the first 5 or 6 songs on Encore, I thought they were dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were really dope. We had Mosh, we had like Toy Soldiers, Yellow Brick Road, where he addresses, that problematic past he
Hmm.
had.
Yeah.
Um, he had a song called Never Enough with 50. He had Evil Deeds. And then if you look at the end of the album, he had a dope track with Dr. Dre
Yeah.
called Encore, by the way.
Mhm.
And he had a couple of dope songs coming down to the end too, like Mockingbird. I think Mockingbird is a dope song. I think if Encore was a 8-song EP, would have been dope. But I just think the rush of, I think what killed Encore is the fact that Eminem was this big superstar and songs got leaked.
Ah,
And there
okay.
was this and like there was this big rush to complete the album by a certain day because it had to get out, and because he's this big cash cow for Interscope and Aftermath and whatnot.
Hmm.
Like I think that's what it is. All in all, the tracks I mentioned and maybe one or two others, those are the only tracks I like. And I'm not
Okay.
a big fan of Encore.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, one of my favorite tracks on it, by the way, is ironically Rain Man, mainly because of Dre's beat. I think that's one of the best beats on the album, and just
mm,
how over the top and ridiculous M is. But how focused he is on his rhymes, even though it just sounds like he's just rambling, right? Which it
Mm,
works. It works totally on that track there.
mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm. I mean, yeah, I understand where he was going with it on that song and on the album specifically, but I don't know. It just felt like a mess. Like I have no problem with Rain Man, but I mean, oh god, like there were songs like My First Single and Big Weenie and things like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
did
what
we
I meant
really
with the
need to hear?
beats.
Like, I don't think we really need to hear those songs. You
Yeah,
know?
that's what I meant
Yeah,
with the beats. Like
yeah.
yeah,
It was just like, I mean, come on.
yeah.
So then after that was
Even though well, Dre produced Big Weenie. I think the one good thing about that song is the beat
yeah, yeah,
and bits of the rap in itself. But yeah, you could go.
yeah. He was rapping well, but just like it was,
Yeah, when they get to that
But
hook
he had
though.
some great songs in it, like Toy Soldiers and Marsh and
Yeah,
couple of
yeah,
yeah, it was some dope shit.
right.
So that's Encore. Relapse. Relapse is a divisive one. I actually understand where a lot of people have a problem with it. Um, I don't think most of the songs were good. It has Relapse has zero replay value. I think Relapse has the least amount of replay value of any Eminem album.
Oh,
I'm not saying it's his.
even revival.
Well. Here's the thing. Relapse is not my least favorite Eminem album, but to me, it has the least replay value. To me,
Oh, okay, okay,
it's
okay.
kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird. You
yeah.
know. Um. Matter of fact, no. Revival really might have the least replay value thing
I
about
want to know. I want to know.
you know yeah, like because if it's like I was thinking like you put a gun to man, it's like gotta play one relapse or revival, like
Yeah,
yeah, i
I
i go
listened
into
from
relapse every all day every day, what I
I
mean?
listened from top to bottom. Huh? Like
Yeah,
if you
I
had that.
actually thought, you see, this is where relapse is the album where I get kind of torn a bit as a MC myself, because this is where he puts good songwriting. Let me not say songwriting. There's such a thing called song making. He puts good song making to the side in favor of just being lyrical and doing impressive things lyrically. Because on Relapse, I could tell you, just as a technician of the craft, there are things that he did on Relapse that were very impressive.
All right.
You understand? Like in terms of how he rhymed words.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the accents. I was just talking about how he would rhyme like syllables and stuff like that. That's just that technical rap nerd type of shit, you know?
Yeah.
Which counts to a lot of MCs. Like that's like a big thing for us. Like
Yeah.
seriously, like the way he was rhyming and thing. That's why I do hear plenty like MCs trash Eminem for the album specifically.
Okay, okay.
Because
I
like
think one good example is 3 a.m. Like the second verse
yeah,
in particular
yeah.
for 3 a.m. I love that.
Mm,
I love that. That
mm.
like the way how he was just rhyming to
Yeah.
that rhythm. That's really good.
Like even the song "Stay Wide Awake" when he was 3504. I think the smell of scent of a placenta. Some winter in December. The way he was like flipping the syllables
Yeah.
and going through the whole verse rhyming syllables like that. It's like that's a big thing for MCs, and
Mm.
MCs like him. So he did that well, but the songs were horrible. And what was surprising, what was surprising is that Relapse, Dre do the whole thing, and the beats
Yeah.
weren't that. The, a couple of beats were dope, but it's like for the most part, the beats was kind of,
Throw away.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, you even try? Yeah, you're Dr. Dre. Like, what the hell going on? You know?
I think that he probably like pretty made them to like probably in an attempt to fit M's
Yeah.
style now. So if he's
Mm.
zany, I'll do a bagpipes from Baghdad or
Yeah.
We Need You,
Yeah.
which was a poor follow up from Without Me and
Mm. Mm.
Now Lose It. Sorry, Just Lose It and stuff like that. It just
Mm.
felt like it was trying so hard to be that, but it just failed. But yeah. I mean, I do applaud the fact that Dre handled all the production, Well, except for Beautiful, which I remember being like one of the main
That was the
singles.
one M. Yeah, yeah, that was the one Eminem beat. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than
Yeah.
that, there was somewhere it's like, wait, Dre really make this? Really? Huh?
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
Yeah, you really
Yeah. Yeah.
expected more out of him now. Right.
Mm, mm. So yeah. After Relapse was
Recovery.
Recovery, which I didn't like the album. He rapped well again, but this one I'm actually glad that he was like doing songs with like actual topics and talking about things. So that's one thing I liked about the album, but I just
Mm.
didn't like that so many of the beats were like pop
Mm.
rock inspired.
Yeah,
Like I don't want to hear
and
you on a
kind of
song with
kind of
Pink, bro.
gloomy. Sorry, just repeat that.
I don't want to hear him, and I want to on a kind of pop rock beat with Pink or Skylar Grey or these type of people. And Not Afraid was like horrible to me.
But it was a
But
song that
as
it
again,
just.
like I say that, but all throughout the album, and this is a recurring theme. Like as a MC, like as a guy who rhymes words, like just the pure act of rhyming words and having metaphors and just wordplay and that kind of you know MC nerd type of shit.
Mhm.
You still had to give him his props for that album because it was dope. But from a listener's perspective, nah boy. There were some songs I like No Love with Wayne was dope. The bonus track Session One with Slaughterhouse, dope.
Yeah.
There were some dope songs on the album. Plus some of the deluxe bonus tracks was dope. But overall as an album, I just didn't like the whole. It just felt too pop. It felt too polished. It felt like Relapse was too on this side. So let me make something appealing like that. Like I didn't like Relapse, but don't counteract Relapse with that. If you understand what I'm saying, you
Yeah,
know?
I understand.
Yeah. So Recovery, then Marshall Mathers LP 2. So by the time that album came around, I kind of got I was expectant of some shit like Recovery. So I wasn't too mad at the album. I was just like, oh, okay, I expect I'm gonna do some pop rock type of shit. So he had a song with Skylar Grey, skip that shit. Um what else boy? He had some collaborations I wasn't too interested in. The one with Rihanna was cool actually.
Yeah, I dug the sentiment of it, and I thought the video
Yeah,
was
but
great
not.
though.
But even that, it's like his rhymes was dope. That's the next thing. Like I'll keep saying it. Like his rhymes never fell off to me.
Hmm.
Like his rhymes never fell off to me. But it's just like I don't want to hear those rhymes over the type of production I will hear over. You know,
Yeah,
adult
some pop song.
contemporary
Yeah.
95.1 the best mix type of beats now.
Hmm.
Like I don't wanna I ain't trying to hear that shit be. Like no Taylor Swift beats here. Nah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And
Right.
just to stop you for a bit, like I understand this period of his career, of M's career, where all the pop acts I was making fun of back in the 90s and 2000s. Now I'm kind of joining with them now because that's what's gonna help sell my record. So I get from an image perspective, right? Why he would do that, So
Mm.
yeah, I will collaborate with Rihanna because she's big, right? Or Skylar Grey. Well, not like she's big, but but songs where she does hooks for are big, right? So I
Mm.
get that, but still is like, but yo M though, like that, like in a way, it just sounds like it just feels like just an attempt to stay relevant. That's the best thing. I understand artists have
Mm.
to do that to survive, but still is like, but
Mm.
I don't know.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on like stuff like Berserk, for example? Where he was going for this old school rap rock kind of vibe thing, Like I remember liking it at a point in time, and
Yeah,
now
but
like when I hear it now,
nah,
it's like
that's the thing.
yeah,
Like,
but
don't do that. Like, don't like,
uh,
yeah, like to me, M would be, more lyrical than a guy, from the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, I mean, respect to the Beastie Boys, respect to them. I don't know, I think with that album, even though I really do enjoy it for what it is, for the sentiment, um, sometimes it's almost like people just send him beats and it's just like, okay, well, these are all the beats I have. All right, 16 beats. Okay, I'm just gonna rap over all 60, right? So case in
Mm,
point, stuff like Stronger Than I Was. Decent song. I love the sentiment of it, right? The whole,
mm,
okay, I was talking shit about you, Kim, all this time, so I don't blame you for leaving me and moving on. Great,
mm,
great concept. But the beat though
mm,
is just it just felt like a recovery leftover. If I'm not, I
mm,
would be surprised if it is a leftover from recovery. It just have that kind of feel to it now. Like, okay, I
mm,
just need to have these accessible beats because I don't want to be the shock rapper that people know me for. But at the same time, it's like you think as an MC now, you would have much more choice, like creative decisions in terms of okay, what you want in your beats when the beats that you're rapping
mm,
over. Instead of just you give me this, okay, cool, I'll take it. That how it felt now.
mm,
Yeah, but
mm.
yeah, continue.
Right. So that was the Marshall Mathers LP too,
Uh huh.
right?
Talk
Um,
about the worst of the worst.
ooh, boy. Uh,
This song
revival,
is
boy.
like, it could have been more political, Dred. That was what the album cover suggested. He was going to
Uh,
be all political, but nope, nope.
mm. Yeah, revival was just it was horrible. It wasn't good. The beats were not good. Eminem. One thing Eminem had when the musicality itself started to go down, like he always had the lyrics, the you know the rhyming skills and the metaphors and the punchlines and stuff. He had that, and this album was it was he was actually very corny with it. I felt
Mhm.
like it was just like all the things you don't like about quote unquote current Eminem, like he just amplified it by 10.
Yeah,
So yeah. Um. So yeah, that was basically it. You know.
yeah, yeah.
So
You don't need to
it
say
was
no.
horrible.
You don't need to
The
say
less
anything
the
else.
less said about it, the less said about it, the better. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So Kamikaze, thoughts on that?
Um. I like that. I like that. I'm not mad at the beats for the most part. I'm not mad at the songs for the most part. There obviously are some songs I could do without, but I felt the overall sentiment of the album was dope. I felt like he was rapping well, really well again, and I felt like the beats were tolerable enough.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the collabs? Well, excluding
Well,
Jessie
let's do
Reyes because I don't know
yeah.
why she was there. But I mean, like Joyner Lucas and Royce the 5'9". What we thought about those?
I didn't feel for the two Jesse Reyes songs. Felt like he could have probably kept one. Nothing against Jesse
He could have
Reyes.
taken out both in my opinion. I didn't care for
You
neither
think?
one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
good
I
guy.
think
Like I get the sentiment of it. Saw the video for it. Didn't care for that.
I think good
So,
guys.
uh,
You gotta keep one. Like I understand the purpose. It's not bad. To me, it's not bad. So
oh,
but
okay.
in terms of the Joyner collab and the Royce, I thought those were two dope tracks.
Yeah.
Two dope tracks. They did well. They did really well on it. Um, and yeah, I felt it was good. I felt like there were some choruses that did that I didn't like. And I'm talking about one songs that I did like greatest in the world,
Yeah,
greatest in the
greatest
world.
in the
Like
world.
was it like bro, this is fire, but it's like was your problem? Like, dude, ugh, it's
Stepping Stone
horrible.
is one for me too that I didn't care
Step
for the
yeah,
beat for.
Stephenson is dope. Yeah, dope.
It's one of those songs that sorry that
Mm,
sorry about that. Yeah, that pretty much
mm,
divided like fans actually because you're basically saying, oh well, sorry D12 that your career didn't blow up as much as mine.
mm,
Understand? And yeah, sorry, I can't really do anything about it. So yeah, I think
mm,
we done,
mm,
Yeah, it had
mm,
that kind of vibe. And even though I know it goes deeper than that, but it's easy for
mm,
somebody to say that, yeah, either taking the responsibility over your failure as a rap group, but sorry, whatever, bye. That's
mm.
how people kind of look at that song. Now, what you thought about that quickly?
Stepping Stone. Nah, Stepping Stone was a dope song. Stepping Stone was a dope song. I love the the whole story behind it. I love the storytelling, and
Yeah.
it gave us some insights into what's going on with M's life, kind of way, which is something that we have been missing out on. You understand? Um, because there was an episode of the Hostility podcast I did with Doughboy where
Uh,
I believe I agreed with what Joe Budden said, in the sense that I felt like Eminem's content could be a lot more for
yeah.
an MC of his caliber and what he has gone through.
Yeah.
You
He
know?
he 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 did lose me a bit. I don't think it was probably I don't think it was of the same episode of his podcast that you cited, but where he says he actually sees himself as a better rapper than M. I remember
He lost
seeing a
it or not?
particular episode
You
where
fine?
he says no he like Joe literally said that he sees himself as a better rapper than M, and I was like
Yeah,
what?
I know you said that. I
Okay.
know you said that.
Yeah.
You wait, he lost you on that? You find so?
No, like okay, like I get the cockiness to see something like that though, but okay, so say we one about like the corny bars and all that kind of stuff, right? For you to just
Mm.
come and say, okay, well, because you just have this, you just have to um deliver all these corny bars or play like you have to be all technical about it without being natural. Like I think that was the issue that I think that was the argument he was making there. Like, oh, you have to be all technical with it while I just be natural with it. It's some kind of weird stuff he was kind of critiquing him on. But basically, for him to come and say he's a better rapper than him, even though you haven't heard a song from Joe in quite a while, you know what I mean? That was kind of it just caught
Um
me by surprise though.
you know what, that's dope that you mentioned that, because I have my opinion on that. When Joe said that, I don't think he's right, but I don't think he's wrong either.
Okay, okay,
In the sense that I think but I think Joe Budden is a dope rapper.
me too.
First of all, I think Joe is a hella dope rapper. Like, I think he's incredible. I've always said this too. There's a reason he was in Slaughterhouse to begin with.
Yes, yes.
He didn't just get in there because he's a token red man. You understand? Um, and Joe, like Joe has written some songs in the past, well, throughout his whole career, but he said with regards to the past 10 years that he's a better MC. In the past 10 years, Joe has written some dope songs,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's penned some incredible verses. And like, I'll keep it real with you. There's a lot of MCs who come out here and say, "Yo, I'm the best and I better than everybody." There's a lot of MCs who cocky, and I have no problem with, like, there's some MCs who need to pat the hell down. Right? There's a lot of MCs who cocky as I need to pat the hell down. And by the way, when I say MCs, I'm not talking about like um these little dotish boys who feel, oh, I don't know who Tupac and Biggie is, I better than them, blah blah blah. No, I'm not
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
that. No, I
Mhm.
talking about MCs. I talking about actual MCs who, just really put pen to paper and
Yeah.
handle that shit now. You know? When I say them, it's like, yeah, it's a certain MCs who could really say, I'm about the craft, I do this shit, and I'm better than XYZ, that. Right? Joe Budden, I don't think Joe Budden is a better bar for bar MC, bar for bar MC than Eminem. I don't think so.
Mhm.
But Joe Budden saying that he is better than Eminem, I have no problem with.
All right.
There are a
I
lot.
get where you coming
There
from.
are a lot of MCs who, if they say they're better than Eminem, if I could see them, I'll clout them. Fucking clout in your head, right? A lot of MCs, but Joe
Yeah.
Budden, especially the time period Joe Budden talking about, and what Joe Budden did in that time period, right? I have no problem with that. Especially like there's so much like dope projects like Rage and the Machine that Joe did,
Yeah, I
and a
remember
loose
that.
quarter. He has a project called a loose quarter that I sure nobody here except me and probably Joe and his engineer. And not the shit of Joe. There's not the shit of Joe, but Whereas I felt like that project was so underrated, but it was so dope, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel that I understand what Joe mean by it. I understand what Joe, and it's like, you know what, Joe, if you feel that way, like, yeah, do that, because there's like a handful of MCs who could say I'm better than everybody else in my league or my category, so to speak. And I think, like Joe, if Joe's talking about the past 10 years, Joe could say that too. You know, so
Right,
I
right.
didn't have a problem
I
with that.
got you. Hmm.
Yeah. So that was Kamikaze. Let me go
To
to
music to be
music
murdered
to
by,
mail by.
which
Okay, so the reason I
I know you
asked,
probably enjoy. I know you probably enjoy more than I did.
yeah, because I felt like this is the perfect marriage of rapping well, rapping really well.
Right.
Again, like I listen for things that, you know, as an MC, like, wow, you really did that. Like, you really flipped that metaphor that way.
Mm.
And then you flip that next metaphor that way, and you flip that. And this is me going on line for line, song for song. So, like, I'm just impressed by everything. And there are some songs that I don't like, but overall, I feel this is the marriage of Eminem rapping well and he actually making good songs with it. So songs like the song "Lock It Up" with Anderson .Paak,
Yeah.
I felt that was
I thought that was dope. That was dope. Yeah.
that's a you see that's the thing. Like is Eminem still rapping well on syllables or something, but it's like it's a really good song. Like you could play that song
Yeah.
like just chilling, like
Mm-hmm.
cleaning a house or something. Same thing with "You Gonna Learn" with Royce. Like just
Yeah. I dug that song too. Yeah.
you know to me, "Darkness" is one of Eminem best songs.
It
Period.
is. Yeah. And the video
Like from
was
a
fantastic, by the way.
conceptual, yeah, exactly. Like from a conceptual standpoint, I mean, like we praise Stan. We got praise Stan just now because we got to talk about Marshall Mathers, but we praise
Yeah.
Stan so much, and it's like you know, "Darkness" is there as a
Yeah.
song. So I like the album.
Yeah.
I really dig it. I think
Another
I
track I
will.
forgot to
Is yeah.
another track I forgot to mention too was Leaving Heaven. This is where just goes ham dread on his stepdad who, well, sorry, yeah, his dad actually who
Mm,
passed away dread. And while I did feel it was kind of ungrateful for him at the very end to be like, fuck you, me, you piece of shit, that kind of thing. I get why he's so venomous towards him, even though he's 6 feet deep now.
mm,
It's a memorable moment in it though, and you could
mm,
just feel like like M himself, like just him going in deep and just really showing you how he's feeling. Like, oh well, he's dead.
mm,
That still don't change the way how I feel about him.
mm.
Yeah. But what's your thoughts on Godzilla quickly and the
Oh,
challengers?
um, you want to know when I just cut off Godzilla? When that fast rap start? Yeah,
Really?
because I
It's
actually like the
annoying.
song. Huh?
Why? If I it's annoying?
It's impressive, but you know, um, it's impressive.
Lyrically, there's
It's
nothing.
impressive, but it's impressive only for one time. Like I'm not gonna be impressed by it the second time.
Right,
Mm,
right. I understand. Yeah.
mm,
And I remember that challenge being that thing for like about a
mm,
while, like about a week or two.
mm,
And it was like, okay. And then the video came
mm,
out, which was cool. And okay, that was it. All right.
mm,
It didn't change the world. It didn't blow people's minds, but all right.
mm,
Um, I just felt just personally about this song, Juice
mm,
WRLD, rest in peace to Juice WRLD, because I get him out of
mm,
verse though. I
mm,
find when he raps, when he doesn't do emo rap, because that's his shtick, right? When he does
mm,
like normal, cocky, look at me, I got more cash than you rap. He could tell he's be having fun with it now. So
mm,
gotta get him out of verse, not just
mm,
some hook that's
mm,
I'm a monster. That it's not even the title
mm.
of his song, but I mean, well,
Yeah,
whatever. Rest in peace, though, but still, get him out of
yeah.
verse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, but anything else you just want to say about music to be moved by,
In
or
terms
that's it?
of yeah, Nah, it was dope. It was more tolerable of some of his past albums, you know. So
Right.
yeah,
I really should listen to it again though. Like I said in my review, I feel with the more listens that I give it to it, I may appreciate it a little bit more. But I just
yes.
felt with that title, like what it was, it just
Even like even
should have been dark.
yeah, that you see you thought M was like sticking to the like I realized if we get a half decent album out of M, we doing good. So you know. And we got
Yeah.
more than a half decent album. I thought it was a good album. Like when I heard the intro was dope, premonition, and then like I know a lot of people criticize for some reason I don't know why, but people criticize the Young M.A. verse. I felt that verse
It
was
was
dope. Like
fine. It's
I
fine.
found it
Yeah.
a dope verse. Like there's a line she said. Oh my god, there's a metaphor she had. But I can't remember it right now. I'll probably remember it before the end of this video. But like it was dope as hell. And Eminem himself, like he took a long while to get it. Like he said so in an interview with Crooked Eye. Like he had an interview with King Crooked, and he
Mm.
now catch the metaphor that young M.A. said, and it's like I find M.A. was dope on it, and the song itself was dope. So I find
Yeah.
all in all, like there were a couple songs I didn't like on Music to Be Murdered By, but I felt dope album, you know.
Okay. Okay. I
Mm.
hear. All right. So without
Let's get to the
wasting any
real
more
shit.
time, let me get to the real shit. Let me talk
Mm.
about the Marshall Mathers LP. I mean, you all know how big a deal this album was when it first came out. Of course, with the single, the real Slim Shady. Of course, like in my case, well, with a particular
MTV.
song. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, MTV was the thing. When it actually was the thing to watch videos on MTV though, like remember those days? But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
remember that video being big. Also remember in my case the allure, you know what I mean, that came with the album because I was in secondary school back then. I think it was like Form 3 or 4, and it was one of those albums where it's like, yo, and it was just men sharing headphones like, yo, hear this stuff, hear this stuff. It's just one of those things like you just couldn't play, you know what I mean, like on a stereo, because you didn't want your parents or your teachers to hear all the shocking content there, you know what I mean, and that's something we will just try to
Mm-hmm.
touch on when we talk about this
Mm-hmm.
album here, right? So kicking
Mm-hmm.
things off, we have Public Service Announcement 2000. Essentially, that's just a sequel to the intro of the previous album. That's it. Not really much to go there, but I do like that we doing it again. They're like, oh, this is the sequel to this, right? So that's interesting, right? Then we get Kill You, right? Um, Easily one of the best songs on this album. I love
Mm-hmm.
how M just starts rapping as the beat comes in. Um, and by the way, this beat will sink itself into your subconscious by that
Mm-hmm.
that just goes in, by and props to I mean shout out to Dr. Dre, boy. When a man make beats, but like you see that's well, you could say from since Chronic era, but I talk about like 1999 era trend. You always have this way of making beats that even if you have your volume down kind of low, you still
Mm-hmm.
hearing it clear, yeah, the clarity of that beat, and still it still gets into it. It's still infectious, right? I
Mm-hmm.
love the aggression M applies to this song though. Like each line, this sounds just as venomous as the last one, right? Um, Essentially this is the I'm back guys track of the album, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time with this new album here, I imagine a lot of people were wondering if M kind of lost that fiery spirit that he had in the last album. It is admittedly one of his most controversial songs, with the whole misogynistic vibe of it, especially where he says with his mom, you know what I mean? Like the one line where he says, just bend over and take her like a slut. Okay, ma? You know what I mean? And
Yeah, way.
like this is the one thing that I love about the album, but it's one of the things that made people real uncomfortable with it, Jed, is the line that he blurs between should I really take what he's saying seriously over oh my god, he just said that. Why did he say that? You know what I mean? So you hear this man saying, oh, I want to rape my mom now, but deep down, okay, he just fucking around, he just talking shit. But the aggression that goes into it though is like, dog, does this man really want to do it to? You know what I mean? Like it just he just blurted so well, just so it kind of leaves you, it kind of makes you feel kind of uncomfortable. Though. So you're digging the beat, you're digging the cadences, the flows and all that, but you're like, dog, but yeah, when this man's saying shit, you hearing like
Mm.
the chorus where you say, bitch, I'ma kill you, you don't want to fuck with me, like you hearing this? And then of course when he gets the call and response hook, which is still catchy as hell, that you don't want to fuck with Shady. I just love how the beat just cuts
Mm.
off because
Yeah.
Shady will fucking kill you. I
And
love
it,
that.
and it cuts off throughout the song too.
Yeah,
Like yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So overall, this is an excellent track. I love this. This is a perfect way to really open the album. Micwise, any thoughts?
Um. Yeah, I think for what Eminem was trying to do, I thought it was a dope way to open the album. Um, like lyrically, I have no problem with I have no issues with the content. Like the because to me by that age when I heard this album for the first time, I was like watching all kind of you're a film reviewer, so I could say this like I was watching all kind of shit in terms of in terms of movies because like I was always into not just graphic shit for the sake of graphic shit,
but good entertaining graphic
but
shit,
good
right?
entertaining graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it had to have a purpose. I felt like M had a purpose. It wasn't just being weird for the sake of being weird because I'm weird. It wasn't like that. So like I again like as an MC, well, I wasn't an MC at that time, but um like I was trying to get into start writing shit and hearing how he was like doing this shit like rhyming words and metaphors and things. I was like, oh my god, like I really have my work cut out. And
Yeah.
this is one of the many songs. This is one of basically every song on the album that was like, yeah, I have my work cut out for me, basically. What I will say is that isn't really not a typical intro track.
Hmm.
So when you think about like hip hop intro tracks, you think about like Jay-Z Dynasty intro or Jay-Z The Ruler's Back, or you think about Stillmatic intro, or you think about even Meek Mill Dreams and Nightmares
Yeah.
on his first actual debut albums, like
Yeah. It's an
these
introduction.
intro
The
tracks now,
introductions. This
yeah,
one
and it's
is
like
just,
M's
hey,
and
I'm gonna
like
kill you.
it's different. And not just the content, but it's like the beat was so subdued and so it just kind of added to the mystique. So I liked it.
Yeah.
But I would say this though. I would say that a lot of people rate that as one of Eminem's best songs, but I don't. I like it, but it's not like one of my
The best thing
go-to
you ever did.
Eminem songs.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. I got you. All
Mm.
right. But speaking of great songs from him, now we have Standby, which to me, and I guess to you too, and to you
Mm.
listening out there, is one of the greatest songs ever
Mm.
conceived, written,
Mm.
recorded, released,
Mm.
performed, and
Mm.
referenced in the history of
Mm.
mankind.
Mm.
I love how it sets up the tone of the album, which is should I or should I not take the lyrics of this album seriously? And whilst telling this very kind of dark, well, psychological thriller like story of this, basically an obsessed fan who took his obsession of M way, way, way too far. I
Mm.
love the closing verse in particular. I love how
Yeah,
ironic and dark and chilling it all is. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Where M is just like, well, he responds right after Stan, the titular character, dies after driving his car over the bridge, and the pregnant wife was in the trunk.
Mm.
I remember people being like incredibly disturbed by just that concept alone. So like when
Yeah.
the video was on MTV, they censored out those lines where near the end where he says some dude was drunk and drove over a bridge, you know what I mean? And
Oh my
uh,
God, it was you.
girlfriend was in the back and she was pregnant with his kid. Like I remember they just
Yeah,
removed that,
yeah,
totally removed
yeah.
it
A
from the
lot
song,
of
right?
stuff they removed.
Yeah.
Uh,
The
yeah,
last few lines was like, come to think of it, his name was you. Damn.
yeah,
To
yeah,
me,
yeah,
that reminds me of like how I feel like when I hear the end of Narcissus, I Gave You Power. That whole damn, like
mm,
when you catch like, oh, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Just that
I
one
felt
where it
somebody else
stops.
grab me. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Dido's hook was great. I didn't even know the Thank You song existed prior to the song being out. I thought it came out after.
Yeah, bro.
But
We
he
wasn't on
so I
that.
was like,
We wasn't on
oh,
that type
okay.
of music at that. I wasn't on that type of music at that
Yeah.
time.
And I mean, like my ear was close to
Yeah,
hearing like contemporary music,
yeah,
Truma
yeah,
sister,
yeah.
Omna. but I never heard Thank You until
Mm.
Stan came out, like about a few months or a year or so after
I
Stan.
hear what
Then
I
Thank
thought
You
she
came
did
out.
a feature. I thought she did a feature for him and took her hook and made a song out of it.
Me
I
too.
thought that
Me
for a
too.
while. Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
thought so too.
Also, yo,
Um,
okay, we're in the same boat.
yeah, yeah. Concept wise, I love the sound effects
Mm.
used here. I love how
Yeah, the
he
rain and the
rainfall,
car, the car.
thunder, the pen scribbling, the car.
I sure Dre had something to do with that because even though Dre produced the song, shout out 45 King.
Yeah,
Even though Dre produced the song, like I know Dre does do that kind of cinematic type of production. So yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
last I want to say, and I feel bad for myself for now knowing this. The line where he says, "I'm an emo bunny" is literally a reference to 97 Bonnie and Clyde. That's how good
Yeah,
the song is, Jed.
yeah,
Not
the
much more
song
I could
real.
say. Stan is a
Yeah, like,
masterpiece. I love this song.
yeah.
Anything else you want to weigh in on Stan? Anything that hasn't been
Um,
said about Stan?
yeah, Stan is just one of the best songs in any genre of music ever conceived to me. You know, you're right. I wish I could say some, controversial shit to be like, oh, Stan is overrated, but nah, I'll be a cunt. Like
Yeah.
if I say that, like you're free to ban me from like your channel for life. Like, you understand? Like if I say that, I'm like, no, just ban me for life. But no, it was so dope. And I'm glad we're talking about Stan now because I saw a clip literally. This is even after I hit you the idea of doing this review. It
Right.
was last night. I was watching a repeat while I was on YouTube of a Instagram live where Lupe and Royce, two of my favorite MCs, I'm sure they
Uh,
have you as well.
yes, yes.
Just basically just talking about rap and creating and lyrics and all that fun stuff. And they were talking about when Royce was talking about when Eminem made Stan,
Uh,
and they was saying that when Eminem came up with the concept for Stan, he just wrote it, like he just did it. Whereas and Lupe waiting and is like, yeah, when Eminem made Stan, he was just like he let the he let the concept, because the concept was so foreign, it was never done. It was so creative, like an obsessed fan. Like who has ever done that? That was different,
yeah.
you know. It's just like when Common did a song, speaking to hip hop. I used
Yes.
to love it. Like that was so in 1994. I was like, oh my god, that's so mind blowing.
Yeah.
So Eminem doing that, in 2000 it was like the same thing, and it's like Eminem basically is not Godzilla in terms of the rhyming and the flows and all that shit, but it was just Eminem basically let the concept take over because the concept was so dope.
Mm.
Like I don't need to impress you more than the concept. The concept is already impressing you. Like why do I need to impress you more?
Yeah.
You
So
understand? So
when you're hearing Stan talking, it
yeah, it's not
sounds
no.
like Stan.
I think yeah, it's not Eminem trying to like rhyme no intricate words and overly poetic and overly rhythm. Like no, it's just Eminem just rapping as an obsessed fan and just talking.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
just
That's
dope.
a
And it's
great
one
point.
of and to me is the to, spoiler alert, this is the best Eminem song ever.
It is. It is. It is.
You know, um,
Banon.
it
Banon.
has some competition, but it has a lot of competition. But this is the best Eminem song.
Lose yourself is a nice competition. Nice competition there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and yeah,
So yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, not much more we could say. I mean,
yeah,
Stan's a masterpiece,
yeah.
right?
Stan was like way too dope. You know.
Yeah, yeah, indeed, indeed, indeed. Next, well, we get the skit. Paul, of course, that's Paul Rosenberg. I like how short and to the point it is. We're just like, you know what, fuck it, just move on. And then we get, well, probably one of the smartest, wittiest, and sharpest songs M has ever made. Who knew?
Hmm.
I love where, well, basically it's just him kind of addressing the controversy surrounding his music, people thinking, oh well, my music cause persuades kids to shoot up schools and be rude to their parents and all that kind of stuff, right?
Mm.
And it's one of those things, like, to this day people will argue about and say, yes, music has a serious influence on children's psyches and all that kind of stuff, but in M's perspective is like, well, where were the parents and all of this, right? And he does bring up some solid arguments, right? But you know what? If unless you're like real conservative, you might not agree with him. But you had to admit the man bring up some real good points here. And also, I love what he says.
Mm,
He uses music as therapy, but it's just an avenue for him just to see whatever shit he could think of because well he can and yeah, it's so records, right? But it's
mm,
not he shouldn't be accused for Columbine or whatever mass shooting or whatever it is, right? I
mm,
love the opening and closing lines to the song in particular, where he says, "I don't do black music, I don't do white music. I make fight music for high school kids. I put lives at
mm,
risk when I drive like this. I put wives at risk with a knife like this." I love the last four lines, well, the last four bars basically. He says, "If you would have been in my shoes, who would have thought Slim Shady would have been something that you
you
would
would
have
have
bought?
bought. Yep.
That would have made you get a gun and shoot at a cop. I just said it. I know if you're gonna do it or not." I love that. It just exposes the whole hypocrisy of the freedom of speech. You know what I mean? Which America's pretty much held on to for so much for
Mm,
so much years now. And yeah, it's just a brilliant song, man. I love this. Anything
yeah.
you want to say about Who Knew?
Who Knew is one of Eminem's best songs. Like
Yeah.
this is one of the best songs on the album. th- one thing that is good about this song. This song is basically, if South Park was a song, it would be this song.
Yeah, this would be
And when I
this
say
would be the
South Park,
soundtrack.
I mean like the best of South Park, not like the mediocre seasons. I'm talking about South Park at their best.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
South Park at their most potent. You
Yeah.
understand? Nah, this is dope. Like the lines you quoted, I was gonna quote it. Like when did you quote the Schwarzenegger line?
No, no, and I didn't do
Oh
the
wow, I
the
gotta
um
get
the
quote
Christopher
it.
Reeve. I didn't do the Christopher Reeve neither. Like
The
he
Chris,
just does all these
yeah.
like the bebop, but
I just
skip
seen the
skip
Schwarzenegger
Christopher
movie where
Reeve.
he's shooting all shots at these motherfuckers with the Uzi. Yeah, that was
Yes,
that
yes, yes.
like
That's a good point.
no, but it's real and like those lines to me because this whole music thing is like I still argue this to this day and like his same sentiments. Like I use some of his same sentiments to argue with people who kind of condemn the local dancehall movement
Yes, yes, yes.
in Trinidad when people say, "Oh,
The Zessa movement. Yeah.
Trinidad, yeah, and Prince Swanee and Jelano and Kayla and them saying singing all kind of badness and the youths and influencing the youths and all kind of shit." It was like the dog, shut the fuck up, like no,
You know.
relax,
Yeah.
yeah. So like, um, when I heard this back in the days, there's one song where I ain't gonna lie, I was a youth man who was, I would say, very young in terms of understanding the world, but I understood where the line was between entertainment and reality.
Right.
And this song was real important for me at that stage of my life. I glad he made that song because I'm sure that if he take this song out to the album, there might have been some youth men who just took everything at face value. But the fact that that song existed, like, is like, oh, okay, he not doing this seriously, so maybe I shouldn't, you know,
Yeah.
do this or do that sort of thing. And it was a dope song too, and it was so tongue in cheek and so it was, like the satire was on point, boy. And the lyrics, and you had to mix that in with your actual lyricism as a rapper because you're an MC, you know.
Hmm.
So I love it. I love it. Love this
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Mm.
All right. So next track we have another skit, Steve Berman, um, which I personally find is funny, especially when you talk about shoving the
Stop
CD up
talking
his
about
yeah, yeah, and
Vicodin.
shoving the CD up his ass, all that kind of stuff. That's pretty funny, right? But because it leads into the next track, the way I am, it's quite interesting they did that because well, just a little trivia here, right? So when the
Mm,
album was, well, when a majority, when you could say the first draft of the album was complete, um, Jimmy Iovine, right? You know what I mean, of Interscope Records felt that they needed a couple more tracks to help sell the album, right? So
mhm,
he kind of beckoned M to do another My Name Is. But it's like, dog, I can't do this in so little bit of time. So he just took
mm,
that rage, that frustration, and turned it into the next track here, The Way I Am, which is like,
mm.
y'all want me to be this person, you expect all this stuff from me, but why can't it just be me? And then he goes even further to criticize, how people look at him now that he's popular. Like I can't go into McDonald's and have, eat little food here with my daughter without somebody wanting to give my autograph, you know what I mean, and that kind of thing. So he just goes so in depth, Dread. Um, and this is one of M's first beats actually, and it's still one of the best in my opinion. I love the piano driven beat. I love the sort of record history that you hear in the background. I love how dark, brutal, and intense these lyrics are, though. And this is the first time in the album where M just exposes himself. He's not some shady. He's not whatever. He's just martial arts, just letting you know how it feels, Dread. How it feels to have paparazzi and news hounds just waiting for him to drop the ball, to do something, and then he'll make a big deal about it. I love where he references Marilyn Manson, and there's actually a remix. They call it the Danny Luna remix with Marilyn Manson. Actually, he does the hook for it, which I actually think is this is
It's like some rock shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
And Marilyn
but
doing
I'm sure
his
it's good.
thing, but I dug that. I really dug that.
Yeah.
And last thing I just want to say though, it had to take balls for you to come and say in your hook, "I am wherever you say I am." If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? There's them
I
two
guess I'm
bars
just
alone,
that, but
Trent.
yeah.
Like I know it's a reference to Rakim, right?
Rock him.
I know that,
That's what I was gonna say.
dude.
All right, you already.
I'm a fan of Paid in Full, you know. I'm a fan.
Oh,
I love the album, but
I'm surprised you didn't know it, but
yeah,
it turns out you
but for
already
you,
know
yeah,
it.
but for you to come and say, yeah, I am whoever you see I am, Jez. So
Mm.
it's almost like, oh, you waited for him to be on this pedestal on a cross, like you just waiting for him to do
Mm.
something, right?
Mm.
But for him to come and say, yeah, I am every bit what you say I am, Dread. And if
Yeah,
I wasn't,
yeah.
why would this?
That was
Why would I
dope.
say I am?
Yeah.
That just took balls, Dread. So then that one of the best songs ever. I love this. Anything
Yeah.
else you want to weigh in on the way I am?
Yeah, man, one of the best songs ever. Produced it himself. He basically, while producing the song, he learned how to produce. Basically, like learn how to
Oh,
work a
okay.
drum machine, and so, like he had this flow, bang for the bands and the dun for the dun for the
Right.
dun. So he
And
had
that's
this
why the
flow,
beat is dun, 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 dun. That's why the
yeah,
beat is
so
like that.
they
Okay.
kind of like train him to like, okay, well, okay, this is your flow. Well, let's work the drum machine like this, and this is what we do, and da 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 da. And yeah, man, dope. I love the sentiment of it because I love, and I don't say I dislike the sentiment, but like the label told him to make another My Name Is, and he made that, and I thought that was dope. I thought that
Yeah.
was like perfect response. I thought, yeah, boy, yeah, fuck the label and all that shit, and
Yeah.
I loved
Let me
everything.
be an
I love,
artist, man. Come on.
yeah, and like every verse was like dope, and it was just like you can't front on that record, nobody. Like even the biggest Eminem haters, you cannot front on that record. You
Yeah.
cannot,
Yeah.
right? And then you go into and the next record is Real Slim Shady.
Yes, Real Sim Shady, which is the final song
Well, that's the
recorded
thing.
for the
So
album.
after they tell him to make an next My Name Is, you make The Way I Am, and then you make Real Slim Shady, and it's like, oh, so you just have to get that out your system to make this. Then okay, but anyway,
Yeah. So
start it off.
yeah.
That's all I had to
So
say about The Way.
yeah,
Just,
yeah.
just
Well,
going
you're
on.
right. You're right. Well,
The
this
Way
is a
I
good
Am, The
segue.
Way I Am
It,
is like a great song. Like
it
love
is.
it.
It is. Yeah.
Classic song.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm glad we use this as a segue to
yeah,
the real Slim
yeah.
Shady, right?
Mm.
Yeah, this is one of the most enjoyable songs like ever. I mean, the beat is so fun and bouncy, but it's perfect for M now to just get all cynical and dark, but at the same time some genuine humor. You know what I mean? Like the
Mm.
shots he took at Will Smith and
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera, who people actually assume he was in a relationship with, and you know what I mean. It was just for him to just take shots at just pop icons at the time now,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. Not much more I could say about this song. Like the MTV VMA performance for this is timeless in my opinion. The hook
Yeah, yeah.
is timeless.
Classic. With
The
all
beat
them
is just
random white guys that
yeah,
play.
random white guys, made to look like them. Lyrically, it's just so potent and so funny and so in your face. But you know what I mean? It's a nice like cool down from all the aggression that we got with the previous track. Dread. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, this is not a classic song here. This is easily one of the most accessible songs. You know what I mean? Even if you hate
Mm.
the man, you gotta love the hook, right? You gotta love the
Yeah,
hook.
yeah, yeah.
So anything you want to say on the real Slim Shady?
Um, as a song, as a standalone song, like I can't front on it because I think the beat is dope. It's not your typical. It's not a typical Dr. Dre beat. It's not a typical dope hip hop beat, quote unquote. But I mean, it's dope and lyrically, like at this time and especially M was not faltering at all, right? Like lyrically, you understand?
Yeah.
Um, it's just that it's odd that they told him make an X my name is, and he's like fuck you, I gotta make the way I am, and then he just made it was like oh so you just had to get some anger out of the system to make the big single, and the thing is the anger out of the system ended up being a big single itself.
Yes.
You understand? But I mean, all in all, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it because Real Slim Shady is a dope song. It's a dope song. Like I can't front on it. Like I hope people don't think I'm hating on that.
Yeah.
It's really is a dope song, you know. So yeah, I'm cool with it. It's not my
Correct.
first go-to Eminem song to play, but it's a dope song. Like let's be real. Like
Yeah.
lyrically, yeah, he handled the scenes, and the
Yeah.
video was iconic too.
It
Iconic.
was. It
Trust
was.
me.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So next track we have is "Remember Me," right? This is to me one of the more traditional sounding rap songs. This okay, just have this grimy, like head nodding beat. Sorry, it sounds like
Mm.
something you would hear on either like a East Coast hardcore hip hop album or a
Yeah.
West Coast gangster rap album, right? Which is
And Dre
funny
produced it
because
too. That's the funny
right, I
thing.
Dre produced it
Yeah.
too. Which is funny because we have RBX, the way of Death Row Records,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Sticky Fingers of the great
On it.
Onyx,
Yeah, boy.
one of the most underrated MCs in the game period, in my
Ever.
opinion, on
Ever.
this, right?
Yeah.
And even though I'm not the biggest fan of RBX, though, even though I love what he did on the Chronic at Doggy Style, like his style, like his verbal style now. I love what he did here. This is one of his best pieces, easily, right? Onyx, I was always a huge Sticky Fingers fan, so when he come with the rowdy kind of voice comes through here, but it's M who steals the show, where with him kind of screaming the hook that remember me.
Amazing!
That is that is
That's right.
scary, but at the same time, it's like what? Okay,
It's dope. It's dope. It's dope.
yeah. I love how fiery he is, how dark he is. Right, the opening mass he coming with when I go out, I'm gonna go shooting. I don't mean when I die. I mean when I go to the club. Stupid. I'm trying to clean up my fucking image. So I promised the fucking critics I would say fucking for 6 minutes. Yo, not much more.
Yeah.
I can see the entrance. I love this song.
How we
Oh,
flip that
I
switch.
have one more. I have one more um moment to bring up here. And well, just touching on his technical wordplay, what you love about M, where he says six dreams of picnic scenes, two kids 16 with M16s and 10 clips each, and them shits reach through six kids each, and Slim gets blamed in Bill Clinton's speech to fix these streets. So I don't have to say anymore. Remember me, fucking
Yeah.
brilliant. I love this.
Matthew,
Yeah.
I hate you for referencing them lines because I was gonna reference them that because them lines is some of the illest lines, especially from first of all from a technical standpoint, rhyming them like that, and then like knowing what those lines are about, and knowing the fact that artists like Eminem were blamed for shit like that,
Yeah, yeah,
like that is just a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant moment. Like wow, my God, that is one of the verses that makes Eminem God tier to me.
yeah. Indeed, indeed.
Yeah. Um. Well, I guess we could segue into my thoughts on the track. Um.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So basically, well, I would say what I say about M verse. M's verse was incredible. I think this was a career defining Sticky Fingers verse as well.
Yeah,
I want to say career defining is like, yeah, we know Sticky Fingers been on classics before because we know about Onyx. At
yeah,
least you
yeah.
and I would hope our listeners know about Onyx, right? But nah, this verse was different. Let's be real. This verse that Sticky Fingers spit was incredible. Just from a technical standpoint and just how, fucked up he was taking it.
Mm.
Um one thing I noticed first about this production is the fact that this is one of Dr. Dre's most minimalist beats.
Ah, it
So
is.
this is like Dr. Dre, like this is Dr. Dre's version of, I would say, Neptune's grinding, like what Neptune did for Clips,
Uh-huh. Hmm.
where it was just like you see how Clips grinding was just drums, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom,
Boop, boop,
like
boop.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this song, Remember Me, was like boom, 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 like it was just
Yeah.
the drums and a bass line, and it was just so simple. It had no kind of musicality about it, and he had like some sound effects of like graffiti. Psh, psh. To me that is what it was. It sounded like graffiti. It felt like somebody writing "Remember Me" on a wall or something. That like to me that was dope, and I'm glad that Dre didn't look to add more instruments to the beat, because that beat being boom 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 like that was just good in itself. Like just leave it just as dope track. I find it's an underrated song too.
Yeah, it
And
is.
you must mention RBX, because RBX is not like a typical lyricist, but like his presence from on the Chronic itself, from the Chronic album come up, like he had this kind of presence about him,
Yeah.
just the
Mhm.
mic, and so yeah, dope track, underrated song for
Yeah,
real.
totally agree. All right, next track we have is Shady. Didn't even know this was a single, but yeah, it's the fourth one. But I mean, it makes sense because the beat is quite accessible. The
Mm,
guitar-driven beat, that boom, 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 boom. Like,
mm,
yeah, you can imagine people bumping this in the way when they put on the radio and stuff like that back in 2000 or whenever the single came out, right?
yeah.
Um, I love. This is basically like, Slim. This is like the one of the few Slim Shady songs where he just adopts that persona. It kind of reminds me of well, I'm Shady, right? From,
Mm.
well, sorry. Oh gosh, what's it? I'm Shady. That
This
song.
song we talking about is "I'm Back."
Okay, okay. All right, all
Yeah,
right. This is
I'm
this is where
back.
the confusion
I'm
takes
back.
place, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about that.
right.
I'm back, right? But it does remind me of I'm Shady, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because of how cocky he is, you know what I mean? And how he just
Mm,
spits all these crazy bars here or there. It's not one of my favorite, like what? Not one of my favorites, right? Even though
mm,
yes, from top to bottom, I can listen to this album true. But yeah, I mean, I'm back. I mean, I dig it. I dug the vibe of it. I love where it does have this line in particular, which a lot of rappers like well, famously Jay-Z reference off of Success of American Gangster.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
is the what do I think of success? It sucks too much
Talks too
stress.
much stress.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that kind of thing there. You know what I mean?
Dope, dope.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
for him to see that while
yeah.
he's being all cocky and having these little kids
Mm,
singing "Slim
mm,
Shady" is dope,
mhm.
right? And last thing last, he would say he much rather beat out J-Lo than Christina Aguilera. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't really blame you. I don't really blame you. So yeah, overall, not one of my favorites, but it's a standout. It's a standout for sure. Any thoughts
Uh,
on I'm Back? Not to be confused with I'm Shady.
oh shit! As you say that thing with Jennifer Lopez, the line was what he chose J Lo over Christina, and it was
I
some
believe,
song.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Gosh. Well, I had all these thoughts about the song, and now you have me thinking about. I wonder if Eminem writes about J Lo and Christina, but mm, I'll be real. I thought the fact that he like chose to like talk about Puffy Woman, who was Puffy Woman at the time,
Yeah. Hmm.
and Puffy still remain cool with him. I find I find like you are badass for that, dog. Like you talk about a man, whole woman, and he's still good with you, and he put you on Biggie Born Again album, and
Yep.
like, oh, it's still normal. Like I find out so nah, dope song, dope song. Um you see the verse where he said uh lines are coking it, I'm endorsing it with I'm endorsing it with I.
Yeah.
You see how he was rhyming, like again, this is like the technical MC shit, but
Mhm.
like the fact that you rhyming like these five syllables over and over and over and making sense, like that is like a technical masterpiece.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I would say is that verse, that I think that was the second verse, when he did that this is one of the verses that used to kind of intimidate me when I now started to write.
Right.
So when I
Okay.
say when, so when I say M is one of my like I used to kind of look up to M as one of my many, 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 many influences. Like this is one of the key verses that was like this and his verse on Remember Me. You know,
Right.
like how it was like 616s and this. I was like, am I ever gonna do some shit like this? Like, should I stop? Like, no, like it's for because M has interviews where he said like when he listened to like Tretch from Naughty by Nature back in the day, he wanted to stop.
Ah.
So like it happened to me listening to M. Like I was like, should I just stop? Because I don't know if I could do that. Like that's different. Like that's
Mm.
weird. That is not normal. Like what Eminem doing there is not normal. You
Yeah.
know? So yeah, this is one of these songs where I was like, yeah, this guy is a fucking alien.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
All right, so next track we have is Marsha Matters, right? This is
yes.
another confrontational track on the album. This is where he's kind of using his success to kind of take shots on anybody who wanted a handout from him, artists, sorry, whose music he hates, like Britney Spears and Sing LFO. Remember when they put out that Summer Gale song way back when? Didn't care for it
Yeah,
then, don't care for it now. And
yeah.
of course, people who took shots at him, like well, the Insane Clown Posse, right? Who
Vanilla
he
Ice too.
basically, yes, Vanilla Ice, sorry, he
Yeah.
basically rips them
So
to shreds, though.
yeah.
And yes, he does throw some homophobic jabs at them, but that's just the nature of the album, right? That's one aspect of it.
Mm.
Um, I am not familiar with the ICP at all, so I can't say that they deserve it or not, but it is what it is, right?
Mm.
I love the moody sort of guitar driven beat it. It does feel like, okay, like this is the entrance music that you'll hear some outlaw, you know what I mean, some cowboy on a horse riding in before he just proceeds to just bust shots into people, right? Like this is the soundtrack that you hear, Dread. So yeah, this is easily a standout track on this. I really dig the hell out of this song.
Mm.
Anything you want to say about Marshall Matters? The song.
The song, yeah, the song, like at this time, like what me listening to this album was me learning to like put words together and just be a MC. And I was a big fan of MCs doing these type of songs, like just going at people.
Right.
I didn't have to even know who they were going at. It was just like you're going at people and you're going hard, and it was just there was something about this song too that was just he had that he wasn't even like rah 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 with the voice, but like he had this calm voice, but it was like it's had a venom in the voice too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't even know why he was going at 90% of the people, but it's like
It,
it
it
just
didn't matter.
no,
Because
it
it was
didn't matter
Eminem.
because like it just sounded dope, and I was just like at this time I was just trying to learn how to be a great MC. As listening to this whole album, I was just kind of studying this album as a fucking blueprint to be like, okay,
Yeah.
this is what to do. So this is one of my this is one of my top 10 Eminem songs. I love this
Ooh.
song.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice. Nice.
because it's like he was going at people in the industry, but he was also talking personal stuff too, and it's like he made it fit. And the beat is not really my thing, but his lyrics just more than made up for it. So I
Right.
really dig this song. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Mm.
Then we get the infamous skit Ken Kniff, right? And all I'll say is that clearly it rubbed people off the wrong way, and well,
Yeah.
it is pretty much at this at the Insane Clown posse, but
Yeah.
yeah, he just went entirely homophobic on those guys, right? But that's
Mm.
all I'll say.
Mm.
And now we have Drug Ballad, which you might get mad at me for saying this, is one of my two least favorite tracks on the album. It's pretty much M's love song, as he calls it. As a smart, like lyrical wise, content wise, it's very smart, right? He's talking about his own substance abuse, right? But here's the
Mm.
thing: beat is fine, hook is fine, vocals fine, lyrically is all well written, but it does feel kind of fillerish. It does feel like it's just there to kind of lighten the mood a bit, which is fine. 'Cause I mean, we've been getting all this dark stuff prior to
Mm.
to this track here, but this kind of feels like if you were to just skip it, even though like I say, I was listening to this album from top to bottom, I wouldn't mind at all. But other than that, it's there. I will list it. It's good. It's not great. But it's not a song I'd skip though. So that's all I
Mm.
have to say about Drug Ballad. Anything you had to say about that song?
Yeah, when I listen to the album, I skip the skits because I'm not a big skit guy. Like just
Right.
putting it out there. especially these kids on this album. I really care for them, but Drug Ballad I wouldn't skip, but it is my actual least favorite song on the album. Um, Lyrically, he did his thing. Like I thought, like he's lyrical as ever, but it was like, eh,
Yeah.
yeah, this could have been
But
a
I
whole
know,
song.
like behind the scenes, he was just kind of fooling around with
Yeah,
the beat and the
yeah.
lyrics and all that kind of stuff. So it just came out of that, which is fine. I mean, but
I mean, no, it could have been a dope bonus track or something. Like he could have done something with it, but it's just like on the album itself, it was like, eh.
yeah, it just kind of
Especially
feels just
after,
a
especially
little
after
out of place.
back on Marshall Matters. It's like
Yeah,
two
it
top
just really
tracks, and
does
then they
feel
come with a, I know what.
yeah, it really does feel a little out of place.
Yeah.
And then we get another least favorite track, but there's one that I could bear it more, and I could actually listen it from top to bottom more, and I'll actually argue that this deserves to be on this album more than Drug Ballad. That'll be Amityville, right? This is one of the two horrorcore songs on the album. Sorry,
Mm.
folks, Stan doesn't count.
Of
M comes
course
up
not.
with Bizarre, right?
Mm.
Who's notorious for his really crass and vulgar lyrics, but they're all like ridiculous stuff. Which is pretty much like what they used to do back in the early days of D12, right?
Mm. Mm.
Um, the beats, yes, is our next snapper. Like I would just be nodding my head when I hear
Mm.
this beat, right? And I love
Mm.
the hook for this. What I do wish, though, in retrospect, is that we could more of Bizarre Dread. Like
Mm.
he had a verse, he had a second verse, and they come off more humorous and shocking. But like in the third verse is where M really snaps, and he's just talking about he's comparing Detroit to Amityville, even
Mm.
compared to Hamburger Hill, right? So if you know your war films, you know what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, I mean
Mm.
the track is solid. I dug it, but still wish that there was a little bit more of Bizarre. I mean, I know he comes back at the near the end of the album, but still, it needed some more Bizarre, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on Amityville?
Um, Amityville was dope. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't big into Bizarre's verse because I felt like when you're rapping that type of content, like you had to be like at least a little bit more technical with it. I felt like he was just being, shock value for the sake of it. And that is a criticism I've had of Bizarre from then, from ever till
Yeah,
now. You
yeah,
know. So I'm not the biggest Bizarre fan. But I wouldn't have taken him off the track because I understand his purpose there.
yeah.
As far as the overall track is, dope beat, dope drum break. I know the actual drums they sample for this and that was just dope as hell. And M
It
killed the
sounded
shit.
familiar, but I couldn't pick up
Yeah, yeah.
where they came from.
It's been sampled a couple times. M killed the shit. M
Yeah,
killed the shit. Lyrically with his two verses, and I feel like yeah, this is a dope track.
yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's underrated because I don't know if it is underrated, but it's a dope song.
Mm,
It's a dope song.
yeah.
So yeah,
And compared to Drug Ballad, it feels like it fits right down to the title.
yeah, it
Right?
fits the
It fits.
actual
Yeah,
album. Rock
yeah.
ballad and shit. Yeah,
But it's
yeah,
not one of my favorite tracks, but
yeah. It's not like
at
top.
least
Yeah,
it
yeah,
deserves to be here, right?
yeah. Hmm.
Speaking of favorites, now on the other hand, now we have one of my all-time favorites, one of the best pussycuts ever, in my opinion, "Bitch Please
Really?
2." Yeah,
Okay.
this is one of the best sequels to a rap song ever, in my opinion. And if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken,
okay. Yeah.
initially this was supposed to be on Dre's 2001 album,
Hmm.
which is I said 1999 before, but actually the album is 2001. The album
Even
came out
though
in
it came
99,
out in
right? So yeah,
'99. Yeah.
right. Um, but I'm glad that they actually made it to the March Matters LP because I don't know it like all the songs on 2001 are fire already. So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool
Yeah.
that let me just take one of those fiery songs and put it in another fiery album. Let me just do that. Like this give M a little blind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course,
Man,
M steals the show. I love what he says. I just want you all to notice me and people to see that somewhere deep down there's a decent human being in me. It just can't be found. So the reason you've been seeing this me is because this is me now. There is a dude who's being this mean. Right.
Mm.
I know I messed up that rhyme, but yeah, I just love
Yeah.
that verse,
Yeah.
right? I love how he makes kind of pokes fun at at Snoop's
Timothy
opening
White.
lines that he did at the very beginning of the first bitch
Yeah.
please, which is, "Oh no, big slim dog." And I mean
Oh,
that part, I dug that.
yeah.
Um, I think everybody came through and kill it though. Dre kill it, Snoop kill it, Exhibit kill it, Nate Dogg
Hmm.
kill it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So yeah, I
mm,
love this song. But the most frightening thing about this song, and this is, listening album from top to bottom now, is that because you know what's coming up next, Jen, is like, okay, how long can I enjoy this song here before it actually fades out and then the next track comes in? You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, like, when you hear this, it's like, oh shit, I should be enjoying this job, but I know what happened in the next. Oh lord, oh lord, oh lord. Yeah, I just recently you know what's coming up next. But yeah,
mm.
I love this song here. Anything you want to say about Bitch Please too?
Yeah, bitch, please too. Dope song. What I would say is that I prefer the original because of the beat was slightly different, and I prefer the original beat, and I prefer Nate Dogg on the original.
Right, the
And I
hey,
like how Snoop,
hey, yo,
and on
hey,
the
yo.
original, I like how Snoop come down. All I wanna be was a G. Ha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Snoop, Snoop,
I
Snoop,
felt that was
kill it.
cool.
But I
Yeah, like
mean, it was
yeah.
it was off his
But
album, right? So
this was dope. I felt exhibits and stand out the most for me.
yeah,
Because I love when exhibits say when things get rough, I'm in the club shooting with Puff, and it's like right around the time with Shine and that whole thing in the club. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I know.
I love that line. And then I love M. Like, M was kind of like slightly introspective, dare I say. Like, when he talk about, what if he's right? I'm just a criminal making a misery of the world's. You know what line I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know you
I
talk about.
quote it
Yeah,
well. Yeah, right. I felt that was nice. That was a great song. It's a worthy sequel to a
mm,
dope song.
correct.
Um, and they made a sequel to a single, and they made it into an album cut basically, and
Yes,
it was dope. But it was dope. It's a dope posse cut.
yeah,
So yeah, I don't know about if it's one of the best posse cuts ever, but probably if I really think about it, it probably could be. If I really go around the best posse cuts of all time, it probably could be. So yeah,
right.
dope song. Yeah,
Yeah,
for real.
and now we have one of the most controversial songs ever made, Jen. And I'll never forget when I first heard it. And this was me not knowing that that music, or at least rap music, could go this far, this extreme, right? Of
Mm,
course, I'm talking about Kim, right? And
mm.
what made it so
King.
funny, right? Is that this was actually the first song that he recorded for the album,
For real?
and
I didn't know that.
yeah, and this was around the time where he actually made back up with Kim, right? So he played it for her. She was just like, "Wow, what
Hey,
is?"
hey, honey, here's this song I made, like talking about killing you. How
Yeah,
romantic!
yeah.
What a lovely anniversary present.
Which is so incredibly awkward. Huh?
It's weird white people.
And then of course when the album blew up and stuff went down, yeah, that's
Mm,
that's when well, she ended up like slitting her wrists. So yeah, it
mm,
was this field suicide attempt, and then from there it was like, okay, we really need to. Well, they were married at the time actually, and then it was just the
mm,
filed for divorce, right? But yeah, yeah, it shocked me the first time I heard it. It was one of those songs like what I said from earlier, where it's like, yo, you need to hear this, right? You just shiny headphones and you just hear this guy screaming, you know what I mean, in both channels,
mm,
right? It's like one of those songs you
mm,
could play on your stereo because like I don't want my parents to hear this, you know what I mean?
mm,
But it shocked me the first time I heard it. It
mm,
affects me every time I hear it, but it's not a song that continues to shock me. Like the shock value has lessened over the years, right?
mm,
But the best thing about it too, and this is the best stance that the song has, is how personal it is. He's not
mm,
saying that he hates women or not or whatnot. He's talking about he's just talking about a particular person. It's an argument
mm.
between the two of them. Um,
Yeah,
yes, see what you want about the misogyny in it, but it's clearly M versus Kim. It's not about anybody else. It's just about the two of them, right?
yeah.
I do like how it connects to 97 Bonnie and Clyde, where you know he goes back to pick up his Haley to throw the body, well, Kim's body into the lake and all that kind of stuff, right? So overall, it's not a song that I love. It's not a song I hate. It's brutal. It's depressing. It's actually one of the most depressing songs, rap songs ever made. It's not a track that I skip. I listen to it because I understand its impact. And to me, it just makes a great album even greater. It makes a memorable album even more memorable, Dread. So yeah, I mean, not much more I could say about Kim. It has its place. It as far as
I'm sure
genre,
he's
you know
listening
what I mean,
right now.
as boundary breaking, music goes, right? You know what I mean, and yes, I know people were up in arms about it, but now it's just like, yeah, but think about it. It's a personal song, and to be fair, it's not like he actually did the crime, right? So moving on.
Mm.
Yeah. So anything you want to say about Kim?
Um, yeah, I find this song is shit.
uh, I don't. I want to agree with you, but at the same time,
Is he
the
one
same time,
song? Is he one
I'm
song on
like,
this album? I find it shit. I just find it shit. So yeah.
okay. I kind of want to agree with you.
You want me
Time.
to expand on the points, or like
Sure,
I could
sure,
just leave
sure,
it
sure,
there?
sure, sure, sure. Expand, expand.
Oh shit! I was hoping you would have said no because I just
Okay,
find the
well,
song. I just don't like the song. I just find it's like it doesn't show off any of Eminem's strengths. Um, I do enjoy the beat. I just find it's like his singing on the hook was not good. You're just randomly screaming on the verses. Like you're not showing off your lyricism. You're not being creative with it. You're just being an asshole.
yeah,
So I find
it's
this
a temper
like
tantrum
all right.
on wax.
I understand. Like let me just say I don't want. Let me just say I understand. It's like all right, men just had a little trouble with a girl hunting, right? That we's men, you know what I mean? We could understand that. Like we've been through that, right?
Yeah,
Right. So okay, cool. Men just get a little frustrated. I never get so frustrated. But whatever, I understand men just get frustrated.
I never
So
had. I hope
me, I reached out. Yeah.
to never reach that level.
I doubt you reached that point. I
Nah,
understand. But
nah,
Eminem
nah.
is a man clearly reached that point. So he
Yeah,
decided to take it to the studio and handle the business. Now I like no, you see 97 Bunny and Clyde, I like that song. Yeah. I
yeah.
find that's a
I love that song. Well, way
that,
more than this one.
yeah,
In my
that's a
opinion.
real dope song.
Yeah,
But this is like, nah, you just screaming on him. Like, bro, you could. I understand you want to do it just to do it, but like that one of them songs, just leave in the studio and just have it there. So just have it like, bro, like, nah. I don't enjoy this shit. And the thing is, this is one of the songs that make the album the controversial album that it was because it's like, wow, he's saying these things about his, his child mother, his wife. Wow, wow, and it's like every other song on this album better than that song. So it's
yeah.
like,
True,
uh,
true. Yeah, but
uh,
I understand. I
uh
understand it. I understand why people,
yeah, yeah.
will
Nah, it's
so angry
sentimental,
about it. Though.
but me, I don't. This song. I mean, really, nah. I ain't listening to the song.
Yeah.
That song could fit on revival for all I
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is.
yeah,
It has its
yeah,
place in music history, but for better
yeah.
or
I mean,
for
yeah, yeah. No, but
yeah,
the thing is, like, if I was like Eminem's label head, or if I was Dr. Dre myself, I'd tell him, yeah, leave it on the album because this gotta get your real attention. So,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
right. Okay, so two more tracks to go. We have Under the Influence. This is where M, you reunites, sorry, with all of his D12 gang, and they just pretty much taking the piss out of everybody who pretty much hated the album at this point. I love how, just from a sequencing perspective, right, it comes right after Kim Trent. So it's just like, yeah, so you don't like this, well, and check the hook, right? I love how mischievous the beat is, but it's perfect though, and I imagine like when they were performing this on stage, people were just like singing the hook, with the top of their lungs and all that kind
Mm.
of stuff. I just love the chemistry between D12 and M, though, and it's the kind of chemistry that shows up on, well, I still think is their best album, Devil's Night, right? D12's album,
Mm.
right?
Mm. Mm.
I love the fact that everybody gets a chance to shine on this. Like M comes in first, and everybody else just comes in and do their thing. I love that. It's not one of my favorites, but yeah, I still dig the song here. Any thoughts on Under the Influence?
Um, Under the Influence, yeah, dope song, dope posse cut. It's the first chance people really get to hear D12. So Not my favorite song on the album, but it works. It works. It works really well. Can't complain about the beat. Can't complain about the verses. Can't complain about anything. It's not like a standout song, but yeah, everybody did the thing, and there's a chance for everybody get their voice and personalities with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, the last things last though, we have one of the best closing tracks to that album ever, Criminal by. This is similar to like how the last album ended, right down to the way it opens. You know, what I mean, with a lot of people ask me, you know, what I mean, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And yes, it does have some of his most controversial lyrics. Just in the first verse alone, right, where he just takes shots at the LGBTQ community, right?
Mhm.
Um, I know it's one of those moments where people will say, well, oh, he's just taking the piss out of them in particular. But the way how I see that, what the whole song is about is that he just takes the piss out of everybody, like anybody who took shots at him for his music. So it doesn't matter your class, your race, religion, or your sexual orientation, Dread. If you
Mhm.
done him wrong, he will go hard at you, Dread. And that's exactly what he did on this album. That's what he kind of emphasizes here on Criminal. Um, and to me the track itself kind of sums up what the whole album is about, right? Whereas like, oh well, if you actually think I going to kill somebody, I actually gonna do it, I believe in it. Well, I mean, if you believe that, then I'll kill you, right? And then why? Because and then you go into criminal, right? So I just love how his first line is, my words are like a dagger with a jagged edge. Like, just that line alone just kind of sums up what the whole song's about, though. 'Cause yeah,
Sums up
that's
the
exactly
album.
what he has
Yeah.
been throughout this whole thing. It
Mhm.
has one of the best beats, one of my favorite beats of the album, also produced by M and the
Mhm.
Bass or Bass Brothers, whatever you call it.
I think it's Bass. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the skit
Yeah.
in between the bank robbery thing. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's
It
one of
works
the best
really.
skits,
Yeah. Yeah.
period. I don't see you skipping this at all or fast forward this because I know you don't like skits, but still, come on.
Mhm.
But I just love how self-aware all this. But
Mhm.
they actually see the aftermath of that robbery on MMLP too, which is kind of interesting though. So other than
Mhm.
that, I mean, not much more I can say. This is the excellent song, the perfect way to end an already controversial album. Yeah, I love Criminal. I love this song. Anything I want to say about Criminal?
Yeah. Dope song. Dope lyrics. Dope beat. Um. There's one of them songs that define the artist Eminem at that time. You know. So I don't know, like it's a dope song. I don't know if I would end the album with it. That's my only criticism because there's like the last song, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's
I know.
like
I just can't think of any other way that
yeah,
album
I
could
don't know. I
end.
just with the songs already on the album, I don't know neither. But I felt like he could have made something to just close it off. That's my only thing. That's my only
Okay,
gripe.
okay.
I have a, I have another gripe with this album, mainly Kim being on the album, but um. Other than that, it's like I find this is an odd way to close an album, because But I ain't mad at it because it's a dope song. Like lyrically, he smashed it. Beat was dope. Like the content was. I mean, some of the content is not applicable to today's society with some of the stuff he's talking about, especially in
Of
the opening
course.
lines, as you said. Yeah,
Mm.
but is that at the end of the day, it's a dope song.
Yeah, it,
So
it is. It is. Yeah.
yeah, it is. It is. So that's how we close it out. And yeah, I ain't mad at it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So last words and rating on Mash Matters LP. It's all right. So I would admit though, like I didn't get the how big a deal this album was till like later on in the 2000s when I listened to his other work, right? Of
Mm,
which of course including Slim Shady LP. And then
mm,
as I started to familiarize myself with M and stuff like that, that's when I started to understand. Like at first I thought it was just shock value for the sake of it, but deep down I knew there was something deeper to it, right? And over the
mm,
years, that's when I grew to appreciate it. A lot of people put it as one of the best albums of the 2000s, regardless of genre. And I totally agree there too.
mm,
I think that it
mm.
was designed to be controversial. So, all the gripes that people had with it back then and probably today, it's almost like the Scoop Records and Dre and them and, M knew that this was going to happen. But I don't think in retrospect they expected the huge backlash it got, with Lynn Cheney going into court and citing lyrics for the album, all
Mm.
kind of stuff. I don't think that they thought was gonna happen. That was gonna happen. It's just like, oh well, wow, you know what I mean? This shocking subversive music. What is this, right? But
Mm.
thanks to that, thanks to all that happened, it just kind of put an even bigger spotlight on it. And today, they will still have its detractors. People will still see it's vile, it's trash and homophobic, all that kind of stuff. I
Mm.
see it as just really pushing the boundaries of what rap could do. Even like pushing it from what
Mm.
Trey did with Chronic, what
Mm.
NWA did with Shit the Compton, really showing
Mm.
it, right? But
I agree.
at the same time, not doing it like, oh, I could get away with it because I'm white, you know what I mean? But still, like, where he came from, what he
Yeah.
went
He
through, the
never
thoughts
played the
that were in
white
his
card
mind.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the thoughts that were in his mind, you know what I mean? The feelings that he had. And he was just brave enough and bold enough to put it on wax. And I mean,
Mm.
I ain't a rapper, but it's stuff like that inspires me. So I wouldn't go out of my way to make something as shocking as that. But still, at the end of the day, it's art, right? You want it to be as
Mm.
confrontational
Mm.
and memorable as possible. And yeah, that to me is what makes this album stand out of his discography. Why I
Yeah.
will remember this. Why I will continue to go back to it and not
Mm.
really be entirely inspired to do the same thing, but be like, yeah, boy, well, if our artist could
Yeah.
do this, if he could really put himself out there, who
Yeah.
say that I can't, who say that you can't, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But just albeit in your own way. So let's say that artists going forward have to go the controversial shock value route, but still, if it's you and put yourself out there. And then one last thing I want to say before I get to rated, because he wanted it to be like, oh well, this was just a response to all the hate that he got. Yeah, he succeeded. So that's
Mm.
why it's as extreme as it was, as confrontational as it was, as graphic as it was, right? And yeah, music was never the same after this, right? So rated wise, yeah, 5 out of 5, man. This is one of the best
Mm.
albums I've ever heard, one of the best albums
Period.
ever.
Mm.
And I would say, yes, even though some of the subject matter is, dated, that's all I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still has the power to provoke, to shock, to titillate, to excite, to
Mm.
frighten,
Mm.
and, to get people exhilarated too at the same time. So you just get a whole bunch of feelings from this trailer. I don't think,
Mm. Mm.
you know what I mean, other albums have tried to emulate this, but nah, boy, this one did it even did it and more, Dread. You know what I mean? Like I
Mm.
haven't seen any album that was able to top this so far. And, for a man like
So
him,
it was.
this
Yeah.
is your third album, Dread, to do this. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
standing ovation for this man. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
Last words and rating on MMLP.
Um. Yeah. Dope album. In terms of just like when I first got into this album, my whole thing was like I was already kind of writing and trying to be like a rapper. So I was like, wow, this guy. It was demoralizing listening to this album. I
Hmm.
ain't gonna lie, because just how good he rhymed, like, and just how good he did, he put verses together and he made it look so easy. And I was like, like, I trying to put like two syllables together to rhyme, and you rhyme in like 5 syllables, and all this random technical shit that a lot of people listening now probably wouldn't care about, but still, you know,
Right.
it's like that was the thing. And then the like content wise, apart from that, um I think it was important because I think that this is one of those pieces of art where if you do art, whether you're a rapper or a musician or a painter or a filmmaker or this or that, like this is one of those things that says, hey, you could go there, you could push that boundary,
Yeah. Yeah.
because this album pushed boundaries, and it was a risk to put Eminem out from that first album, that Slim Shady LP album. It was a risk to do that. And I ain't talking about just the skin color thing. I'm talking about like what that guy was saying.
Yeah.
You understand? It was real different. So I think technically, yeah, it's I don't really rate albums like 5, 4, 3, but it's a classic album. It's a classic album because there's a couple things, as I said, there's a couple things in the album I'm not the biggest fan of, but like a classic album is a classic album, and I rate a classic album for being something that influenced the culture a lot, and this album did do that a lot. You understand? So
Yeah.
yeah, Marshall Mathers LP is a key moment in my development as an artist, and also just to me is a key moment in hip hop. So yeah,
It is. It
classic
is.
album. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say a key moment in terms of just my understanding of the craft of music. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
for sure.
yeah, just construction, music composition,
Yeah.
lyricism, that kind of stuff. So
Mm.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we've pretty much shared our thoughts on the Marshall Mathers LP,
Mm.
which is turning 20 years old this year, and
Mm.
who knows, for the next, maybe the next 20 years, people will still look back at it and be like, yeah, well, it is still nobody else has been able to top that since, you know what I
Mm.
mean? But
Mm.
yeah, if you have any thoughts on the album, feel free to comment below, let us know what you thought about it. And just lastly, just want to say as far as M's discography goes, well, maybe I might warm up to music to be murdered by, but I think that maybe because I don't know if he's just gonna keep making music until he dies, but I think he have like probably one or two more albums that he could put out, man. And I think that it might be MMLP level, but I think it could,
Mm.
well, hopefully it could be, what I mean, as far as one of the great scores, one of his best works. So
Mm.
I'm looking forward to that. You know what I mean? And he could still do the
Yeah.
contemporary style that he's been using over the past decade or so. I think he could still apply that, but I still
Mm.
think he has it in him now. Any last things you just want to say about M,
Um.
or what you think he's going to be at going forward?
Well, first of all, I would say Marshall Mathers LP. It's to me between this and Eminem Show for my favorite M album. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards Eminem Show.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, right now, yeah, because I did say that at the start, and I still feel that way now. Yeah, I think he's still gonna be making music. I think he's one of those type of MCs who's gonna be making music until he's dead. You know.
Yeah,
Um, at this point, I think Eminem is very concerned about just the craft of rhyming and lyricism more than the craft of making a song.
ah,
So because of this, I don't think you're gonna get a classic album from M again. But I think you're gonna get classic bars. I think you're gonna get dope verses. I think you're gonna get just amazing lyricism to inspire other lyricists to be better. I think that's what's gonna happen with Eminem's career now going forward.
yeah, yeah.
Because I don't think you're gonna get Sing for the Moment again. I don't think you're gonna get
Probably
Till
not.
I Collapse or Marshall Mathers, the track from Marshall Mathers LP. I don't think you're gonna get, Still Don't Give a Fuck. Yeah. I don't think you're gonna get Rock Bottom. If I Had, you're not gonna get those songs again. To me,
Yeah,
I think he maxed out on those type of songs. I think you're just gonna get Eminem just rapping well and rhyming words and just yeah, packing that lyricism into a verse as much as he could.
yeah, yeah.
And to
Yeah,
be honest with you, like I'll get classic albums from I'll get that from Kendrick and I'll get that from whoever. I don't mind. They could do that. M is like I content with M just showing off as a MC. Like it's nothing. It's cool to me. Like yeah, you just show off your skills, bro. Because that kind of as a rapper myself, that kind of helps me because like when I hear M project, it kind of motivates me to go hard with my pen and pad.
yeah, yeah. And I hope his music continues to do that for you. And in my case, just from a creative perspective,
Mm.
just to go all in. You know what I mean? Don't
Yeah,
compromise unless you really
yeah,
have to.
yeah.
And last thing you'll see, though, well, his music has inspired many MCs over the years, over the past couple of decades, and yeah, we'll see who he inspires. In the next couple more. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And we'll leave it at that. So once again, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever this is. This was Match Bailey,
Micwise.
and we are signing off for another episode of Retrospect Reviews. So till the next one, take care, peace.
Peace.